She loves everyone more. Not just here. It's like
that's a great way to start. Sam's greatest knowledge in life is that his wife likes everyone more.
Tracks.
We love you, Em. We love you so much because you love us all more than Sam.
Yes.
Tracks.
And actually, Em would probably yell at all of us for even suggesting that.
no,
Also tracks.
No.
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 I was trying to be there for you, Sam. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Dinner and a Game, where we actually love Sam more. It's true. It's very true.
I do love Sam, but I respectfully have to decline that because I do in fact love
I'm
him.
going to mute Liz's mic for a little bit, everyone. It's okay. Okay.
Is this the part of the show where we rank each other? Like, who's everybody's favorite?
Oh,
I'm
no,
not
why
ready
am
for
playing
these
that game?
answers.
How much do she love?
I'm not ready for this.
I didn't hear who she loves more. I didn't hear that. I'm curious.
I
I
managed
will,
to
I will
override.
always love M the most because that is my wife.
Fair enough.
Did you hear that,
Acceptable
federal
answer.
government? That's her wife.
Legally, she's Sam's. I just get the fun stuff.
Look, I already had a scare earlier. Oh boy.
I don't want to know.
I didn't even
If it
do
involves-
anything today.
If it involves the federal government, I don't want to know.
Nope. Don't need to know any of that.
Jeez.
No, that they made a joke about. It's like, don't do that. You'll be on a federal watch list. It's like, I'm former naval intelligence. I already am.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm on a the writer watch list. I'm
Oh,
fine.
Definitely, I am.
They've seen my history and they're like,
Anyone
Never
who's
mind.
ever GM'd any game is on a watch list somewhere for the dumb shit we have to Google.
I will argue that game masters of any game, you are writers.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, no.
Mhm.
You're writers. You just don't actually write it down.
Oh, you know who's one writer who was so scarily accurate just by using logic? The U.S. government actually took him aside and interrogated him.
Who?
This one.
Tom Clancy.
Oh really?
That's right. That's
All
right.
of the information that
100%
he's like
that's right.
put is like given out about like ship layouts or what this. He was taken aside because he just used cold hard logic to figure out what would be the most logical place for XYZ to be or how it to run. And it was really fucking close to how things actually run.
Was Tom
So they
Clancy
had to
like an
change
engineer?
up how they run certain things and how certain programs work.
See, I'm not smart enough. Not smart enough for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but the biggest thing is it's not necessarily direct intelligence. It's logic. You know what I mean? If you're sitting there crocheting right now, which is like
Yes.
literally kind of like the basis for binary programming. So that's all you're doing right there, and you're doing it without really thinking about it. You've done it so much that it's in your head already, and you just know
That
what
is
you want to
true.
make.
That is true.
And your
This is
hands on
something.
so that's it's the same thing with logic courses, logic progression. You just think about what's trying to happen, and then you use your logic train to go along the means of saying, well, this would have to be here for this to happen like that. So it's just using logic, and because you knit or crochet, I already know you have that ability in spades. So
I was trained
don't
at a
talk
very
bad
young
about
age.
my friend Cassie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do what I want.
Yeah, wait, no.
I know her better than any of y'all. That's probably
Wait. You're saying you can do what you want? You do
Yeah.
whatever you want. So
I do have
I will,
autonomy.
I will bring us back to Wednesdays. Sure you can, good girl.
Well then.
Well, oh, that's gold. Fucking gold.
Ladies and gentlemen,
man.
we just
Finally,
wanted to get us
that
back on
sounds
track.
Uh-huh.
We just want to get us back on track, ladies and gentlemen, because you know how it is. We love you all, everyone equally. There is no favorites here. Tonight Cassie got the ribbing first, so that's all. That's her. Everyone will be subjected to it by everyone else, and we're counting on chat to help us out because We love you guys the mostesses because you come in here and you tell us hello and that you're watching, and that's just a little bit of extra serotonin for the Serotonin Fest that is Wednesday evenings and Kingdoms of Mist, ladies and gentlemen. But in the meantime, let's say hi to these lovely, lovely peoples and see how they've been this week. Let's go ahead and start out with, let's give Cassie some time to recover. Liz, the amazing and the incredible Miss Liz 2. Liz, how are you doing?
I am wonderful. A little nervous, but it's all gonna be okay.
A little nervous? Why? What do you have to be nervous about?
I had the third and final interview for a position that I've been after on Tuesday, and I should know if I have it by the end of the week.
Oh, that's wonderful.
This
Well-
is for the thing that you're currently actively doing, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So
The one
that I
where
can
they had to-
actively keep it.
Yeah. So the one where they had to had you actively interview for your existing job.
Yes.
That
I
is
love it.
that is capitalism at its finest, ladies and gentlemen.
Dirty.
But who are you going to be playing tonight?
I'm going to be playing our Wisp Fetchling thief, Este Mizak. And I have to remember to pull out a French accent when we start this.
You got to pull out a what?
French accent.
Oh yeah, actually you do. You know what? This is just a suggestion. You don't have to run with this or anything like that. You could just wear a French maid outfit every single stream, and then you would just be already there.
To what degree of French
Ooh,
made out?
hey.
There are levels.
Ooh,
Well, we
hey.
do have Toss to worry about, so that we have to keep it within
Something that
Toss.
covers at least what can be seen.
Well, I don't know. Do they abolish bikini streams again?
I'm not opposed to any and all options. We can go like full Victorian. I'm good with that.
Oh, you're gonna be
way
roasting
back.
alive in that though. Like,
It's getting colder.
I mean, no, it's 39 degrees outside. That might actually be nice.
Yeah, you forgot where
you
forgot where the lovely Miss Liz is located. We won't say, but we all know, and they are cold right now. So there you go.
Yes.
So, Sphinx,
Yes.
I trust you're not cold
Um.
because you're fantasy daddy and you're nothing but heat, baby.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I like that. I like that.
And how has your week been?
It's been all right. It's been all right. Busy with work, and trying to doing all the things and working on NaNoWriMo and or NaNoWriMo, depending on how you like saying that stuff. A little behind in that, but catching up, getting it done, getting it in.
It's
But,
always
yeah.
the same thing. The real world comes first, unfortunately.
As always. But yeah, other than that, I think I'm doing all right. Pretty sure I'm doing okay.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cal. So Kel was saying that was smooth. But yes, so and who are you going to be playing this magical evening?
Yes. I am playing the ASMR Idris Aratil. He is a gunslinger way of the spell shot, which basically means he's Roland from the Dark Tower.
Yep. And all that and a bag of chips, ladies and gentlemen. Trust us.
Delicious.
yeah, I'm hungry.
And to this session, we may get to see some real combat. Not our little test combat from the other night.
Oh my.
Bruh.
Sam!
Test combat.
Speaking of combat, Sam!
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm glad we have game tonight. I'm very glad we have game tonight. I could definitely use the recharge because almost wanted to fight the entire post office.
That's okay. From what we understand, a certain small person did it for you.
Yeah. If I wasn't at work, I would have showed up in person, but I had to work. Got to
That's
pay bills
all right.
somehow.
They handled it in the typical fashion. They handled it, and someone
Thank
was
you.
probably left crying. But who are you going to be playing this evening?
Tonight, I will be playing Cecil, a group's magics, Magus, and Man of the Wild. We're about to go in. Is if I put the dots here correct,
Uh oh.
Frozen.
Frozen.
Oh no.
Let's see if he
That's
disappears.
my job.
Nah. Oh, he's
Nope.
back. He's somewhat back.
What the
Kind of back.
fuck?
You had
He
a
froze.
you had an internet glitchy.
Oh, that's weird.
It's all
Yeah,
right.
he did
Yes.
the it up, it
Yeah.
up.
Ooh, that's not good.
You did the.
Is it good now?
Yeah, no, we're good now. You seem to be fine.
Just double checking, make sure nothing's open. It shouldn't be. Okay, good,
Hey,
good.
You know how it is. I already had.
Yeah,
I
I
already had
know.
a bunch of technical issues, and so now it's your turn.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair. That's fair. That is fair.
And I just knocked on my wooden coaster.
Honestly, we're going
Nothing on
from
my desk.
the thing that's going to be interesting is we're going from a place that is very out of his element for Cecil into one he is very much within his element. So it's a good sign.
Is his element.
It is his element. Absolutely. We're going. It's like a
The
homecoming
wild,
for
danger, adventure.
you. Well, yeah, you'll find out. You'll find out. You'll find out.
It's like he's coming home, Sam.
It's like it's coming home. I'm not gonna sing those, so.
Look, I can censor mine.
You can censor mine. What is this, like stamina test? You both know how to flick each other off. Congratulations.
Now we're just doing it so you can hold it longer.
Okay, okay. It's always going to be
Phrasing?
competitive with these two. Not really. And next, Cassie.
Yes,
How are you?
I live. I live.
You live.
Live.
That's as good as it's going to get right now.
Oh, well, we're running a store right now on 3 people all week.
Oh, God.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's great. It's great.
Ooh. And, well, at least it's not in the holiday season.
No, luckily we will have our fourth person back next week. Our 5th person will be back on Black Friday, and then our 6th person won't be back until February.
Wow. How'd they manage that while working retail without getting fired?
They kicked out a kid.
Oh, well, no. That's
It's
one
been
way to do
maternity
it.
leave.
That's one way to do it. It's medical. That's one way to
Human
do it.
can it.
Yep. Yep.
Well, you know what? At least they've alleviated themselves of a parasite. There you go.
Yes, and she's quite cute.
Oh, I like cute parasites.
It's an adorable parasite. Good.
They're all adorable.
I met her. She's fabulous.
Aww. But in the meantime, we have to get down with some Pathfinder 2nd Edition tonight. Our heroes have been living the life of Riley. Yes, you're going to hold the fucking finger up there forever. Got it. I've been living the life of Riley, having been granted a few days at an incredible spa in the mountains above the city, just known as the city, on one of the twins, which are twin planets that are caught in what's called a Roche field, where they're in a gravity well around each other. Oops.
There's an echo.
Someone had sound.
Echo,
So,
echo.
ooh. But, so they're basically... They've been contracted to retrieve a magical item that was lost by a wizard. Apparently, it is a device that can teleport itself and anyone holding onto it. But when he was testing it, it teleported itself, period. He knows the general location. He knows it was taken by someone inside the mountains. And he is going to be sending our group into the mountains to retrieve it. And they've been waiting just to get cold weather gear, which they were waiting on because they're not in an area where they need cold weather gear in any way, shape, or form. But they did find it, and so their time at the resort is coming to an end. They've also picked up at least one extra person for their party in the form of the daughter of one of the brewing empires in the Kingdoms of Mist, who is also carrying a giant warhammer and wearing full plate, and looks like they know what they're doing with it. So we're going to see exactly what happens from here on out. But let's go ahead and get ready to jump over to that. But first, I wanted to remind you, you can find everyone's links in our chat right now. The reason I bring that up is because everyone here is a creator in their own right, whether they be cosplayers, content creators on one of the streaming apps. Everyone here does a little bit of everything, and just getting that one click, someone taking the time to click that follow button, it's a massive serotonin boost for us. All of us, I think, would do this no matter what because we enjoy what we do. But at the same time, having that extra boost just makes us feel seen. And that is amazing. So if you want to go ahead and go through the links, you can find their socials, give them a follow. They would appreciate it. I would appreciate you doing that for them. If you want to find a Dinner and a Games links, you can sign them in our link tree, which is also in there, which actually includes a link tree to our new merch that we're just bringing out. The amazing Red Queen Hales has done it again. We gave her the assignment of turning some of our different phrases that came up in our games into shirts, as well as recreating some classic TTRPG memes. And so far, she's been knocking it out of the park.
She don't miss.
Oh no! And you will see them scrolling by in the little window there that neither Liz or Sam are pointing to right now.
Of course, I'm pointing to Liz.
I know, and Liz is pointing.
I
to the
don't know
sky.
where I'm.
He's below you right now.
It looks weird if I go like that, though.
It does.
It also makes it harder to hold for longer, and I know he's trying to get me to lose.
What do you mean
And
try?
I refuse.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so
oh no, I don't.
So, yes, if you want to go check out the merch, the link is in our link tree, or you can just find it right here. We have some amazing things like I didn't ask how big the room is. I cast Fireball. The one that's on screen right now is you go to push the orc off the cliff, and instead you end up gently caressing his back, and he's very uncomfortable because you rolled a natural 1. So, yes, there's a lot of shirts going through. There's the other... Oh, Cassie's shirt's up right now.
I'm responsible for that.
I don't even think I can safely say that one on stream.
No
Actually,
initiative. Just fuck.
Yeah, I was gonna say we say
There.
we drop f-bombs all the time anyway.
We have said that on this stream.
It
Yeah.
was literally said on the
It was
screen.
from this stream. It was from this stream. I'm pretty sure it was from the resort.
Yes,
No,
is
it was from the resort.
It is from the resort. Absolutely.
It was from the resort.
So, but yeah, and if you want to support the stream in any other way, you can of course subscribe to us on any one of our social media channels. I think we're monetized on everything now except for Twitter, which is weird that we can even stream to Twitter because it's not Twitter anymore. But all the links still work. So we are currently live on Facebook, in our Facebook page, in our Facebook group, on Twitter, on Twitch, and on YouTube. So if you want to follow us anywhere there, we would greatly appreciate it. Especially with the YouTube channel, we're trying to get it up to get monetized. I think we need more hours viewed on there to get to that point. So if you want to watch us on YouTube for a while, we greatly appreciate it. You can see, I can see all your chats. You can't see the stuff in Twitch, unfortunately. But we can do everything. We can talk to you any other way if you post up in any other chats, because I use a program called Restream.io, which lets me have a single chat box for all my different chats. So it's great because I can see you and I can respond to you, and I can also just type it out in chat. Also, if you want to support us, you can actually go visit our partner, Many Worlds Taverns. You can use the code in the stream, which is Dinner and a Game. When you go to checkout, you'll get 10% off your entire order. And if you use the link that's in our chat right now to place an order, you will actually give us 10% of the total purchase amount comes back to Dinner and a Game, because we're helping them to actually market their merchandise, which is incredible coffees and teas. We just got the new coffee flavor for the month. It is a Argentinian blend that is got hints of grape and chocolate, and it's a medium roast. So I'm kind of anxious. We just got the box in today, so I'm pretty anxious to try that out because it sounds amazing. And this month's special magic item card, because with every one of the Treasured Realms boxes they send out, which is a random flavor every month, they put out a magic item, and this month's item is called the String Blades. It's a pair of daggers that are linked by a magical string, And if you're within 30 feet of one of the blades after it's been thrown, you may use an attack action to return the dagger back to you on the magical string. Each creature that is in a straight line between you and the blade's location must make a DC 16 dexterity saving throw or take slashing damage equal to 1d4 plus 2 plus your dexterity modifier as it returns to your hand. So yeah, you throw one, it's linked to the other one. So when you pull the other one out of the sheath as the attack action, instead of throwing that one, you can jerk the original knife back to you, and it comes back in a straight line, and anyone in that line has to make a dex save. So it's pretty cool.
I like it.
Yep. But you have to be within 30 feet of the knife throw. The
Don't
nasty
give it
thing
to
is,
Drake.
if it's in,
Don't give it to Drake. You know
if it's in
exactly how
someone-
I'll use that.
if
thing.
it's in someone, you jerk it out of them. So you know that thing of you ever get
jerking
stabbed,
it
don't
out?
pull out the weapon. Oh yes, you're jerking it out. Stop it!
Never pull anything out.
Never pull it out.
Giggity.
Never. Dang, I think those are words Nick Cannon lives by.
Yeah, well, there we go. So, get it up, you say. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for having shown up tonight. We're going to go ahead and take the rest of the night off. I'm tired.
That's fair.
Actually, we're going to go ahead. We're going to jump into Between Two Worlds. When we left off, our crew had Timmy McTimerson, the halfling entrepreneur, who has brought this band of people together in order to serve his master's bidding and retrieve the magic item that is lost in the mountains, which is the territory of at least, the very minimum, a band of frost giants. And the players are being asked to retrieve the item in any way possible. But, of course, everyone would prefer if it wasn't via violent means. But in the end, he does need the item back because he's still working on perfecting it, and it's the only prototype. So, you guys were sitting around the lobby. Everyone had gotten their gear together, I do believe. You had sorted out the cold weather gear. You had gotten your packs together. The rations and everything had already been delivered. You guys were supposed to meet back, I do believe, at the lawyer's office to get T-ported.
Yes.
So, what are you guys going to do now? At this point in your dynamic lives.
I'm guessing everyone got rested. We got our gear. I guess it's time to head to the office to get on job.
He's on down the road.
Head on out.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys are heading down back into town. If I remember correctly, you guys came here from the bar, which is just around the corner from the lawyer's office. So it's not like you're going out of your way to get back to the lawyer's office and the barrister's office in the first place. So it takes you about the hotel, of course, provides you with a carriage service to get back into town with. So it takes about 30 minutes for you guys to get back down to where you originally signed out the paperwork for this job and near where you originally met Mr. McTimerson, and for those of you who didn't already know each other. So, as you're riding back through the city, Accordia.
Yes.
Oh God, what was her name? I'm trying to find my notes.
Kelly.
Kelly.
Kelly. Oh yeah, Kelly. Kelly kind of leans over towards you, being understanding that her armor is not exactly who won.
Listed.
Yeah.
Listed.
I need my sketching again. It's like I could hold this for a lot longer, but at the same time, it means I'm gonna be stuck like this. That's fucking boring.
Yes.
I'll rub your hands better, Liz.
So, but as she leans over to you, she says, where exactly are we going?
Oh, there's an office in the city proper that we're meeting at.
Oh, I thought we were going to be traveling out into the wilds.
Oh, we are. We're going to get teleported.
Really?
Yes.
Well, at least we travel in style. Do we have any idea where we're going? I might know someone nearby.
Mountains. I think that is a question probably for Cecil.
Or are you
Cecil will-
referring to the office building?
Oh, the office.
No. I was trying to discern our final destination.
Ah,
It's likely unknown. They're sending us as close as they can to where we are supposed to find the object, but they're not entirely sure exactly where it is.
we just know that there may be a possibility of frost giants. Ooh, our images have suddenly disappeared from
Oh, sorry.
the Twitch.
Disappeared.
Actually, they're going to disappear for a second more. I got to move something. There it goes. All right. So
Right.
Kelly kind of says, so you guys don't know where you're going, except that it's the mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
You're very calm.
Why wouldn't I be?
I
Well,
mean,
you're
it's just
being-
another adventure.
But you're being sent off into the mountains to retrieve a magical item, not knowing whether it's dangerous or not. And you're being sent there by, if I understand it, Mr. Timerson, who you just met.
Yes, well, what's life without a risk?
And
You know how-
honestly, the presumption is it's going to be dangerous. I mean, they would not have asked for people who are skilled if it was, a simple job.
And also, it doesn't make any sense to exert your energy freaking out about the situation. Best to be safe for actually defending oneself, should it come to that.
Okay.
Come on.
Sphinx, your companion is meowing at you.
It's
It
all
is
right.
time.
Roland.
It
You
is
are going to
time.
be fine.
Come on, it's Wednesday. You know you got to be included.
Hello, Roland.
Do you know how many hunting contracts give next to no information on the target's locale or even what the target is, just that it's been causing problems? The fact that I've got this much information is a sign of good faith.
Well, I guarantee that at least it's going to be an interesting adventure. Because
I hope so.
well, not knowing where we're going and everything else, this is going to be. It's going to be, at the very least, surprising.
It has been fairly interesting thus far.
For some
At
of
least
us.
for us.
All right. So it's just at about this time the cab pulls up in front of the barrister's office. You guys start piling out. Mr. Timerson rode with you, by the way, because he was already there at the resort with you. So you guys come piling out of the coach. It was a little crowded, but it's a pretty big coach. So you guys get out and go walk up to the door. It swings open. And you see that older gentleman who had presented you with the contracts, and the elderly Thrycreen. And he says, please, come in. Everything has been. Mr. Timerson's emissary reached out to us yesterday. Hang on one second. And let us know you would be here. So everything else has been set up. We prepared one of the meeting rooms. And I do believe that the junior associate of Mr. Timerson's employer has everything ready for you. This is, of course, the final chance for any of you who wish to no longer participate in this to withdraw from the contract, since the only thing that has been the only thing that will be required is any recruitment of any supplies that would not be utilized. But since I don't see any of you backing out at this point, I would say that everything is in good standing as long as you all are ready to go.
Aye.
Good.
Away we go.
All right. So,
all right.
and by the way, this is the next morning afterwards because that's when you guys were intending on leaving. So Mr. Mr. McTimerson comes up and walks up to you guys and is like, "Yes, no, there'll be no one dropping out of this group. I think I got a very, very, very fortunate when I stumbled upon you all." He says, "Miss McKinstry, however, you're not actually part of the original contract." And Kelly kind of looks at him and goes like, "I don't exactly need the money. I have my own vested interests in why I'm going to be going along." And and at that very moment, Accordia, you feel a hand upon your derriere. And she says, "And I will be taking on my own risk as I am an adult." And Mr. Turnison says, "All right, no, that's fine. I just didn't know if you wanted to be amended in. I would hate for anything to happen to you, and at least there's provisions for that in the contract." And she kind of chuckles and she says, "I don't think that whatever you have set up for anyone's untimely passing would be able to compensate my father if he knew that I was in your employ. It would only make more trouble for you. Let's just say that this is me once again sowing my wild oats and leave it at that."
Is that what we're calling it?
And he says, "All right, no, that's fine. Let's go ahead and get things rolling, shall we?" And the Thrycring says, "Follow me." And when he walks through the hallway, no one could get by him. I mean, he is a giant he is a insect humanoid. So he has 6 legs. He has a thorax and an abdomen. So he's like it's almost like a small horse going down a hallway. But as he comes down to the room,
In a hospital.
I was just typing that.
Horse used an elevator. I didn't know they could do that.
Better than a bull in a china shop.
Mythbusters actually proved that that's not really a thing.
I know.
The funny thing is, there was a movie called The Commitments. I don't know if anyone's ever seen it, but it's about a soul band in Dublin.
Ooh.
And so one of the things about it is the guy's recruiting people to be in the band, to play instruments and sing in the band. And he goes to this one, tenement building, and he walks into the elevator, and there's a kid with a horse in the elevator. And the guy looks at the kid as he hits the button for the floor, and looks at the kid. He's like, "You're not taking that thing in the elevator, are you?" And the kid says, "I got to. The stairs will kill him." It's just like, you can't. How are you going to argue with logic like that?
I mean, that's fair, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry, horse in a hospital. We're moving on. But yeah, so you follow the barrister down. He takes you down to what the other day was the boardroom that you met in. Now the tables been moved out, all the chairs have moved aside. On the floor, on the wood floor in chalk, has been drawn a very large teleportation circle. You can see that there is a young man in a smaller circle attached to the teleportation circle, sitting down in a meditative pose inside that circle, and his eyes are closed. He's wearing robes that are inlaid with mystical symbols. He has several symbols actually drawn on his face, and he's sitting there, and he says, "Since I did not have anything to directly tie to," he said, "I divined the location first. As I think you were told, the actual location of the device cannot be divined directly. It has been taken somewhere sheltered, and in these situations, that usually means somewhere deep underground to stop divination." It says, "That is the biggest problem you're going to have, is finding its exact location, but I do know exactly where it landed and its last location that it was at before it was taken below ground. He says, I'm going to put you where it landed, and I have prepared a map. And his hand gestures to a small table that's on the edge of the room. He said, I provided a small map that will take you directly to the location where it went underground. The reason I'm not putting you directly there is that all our previous sorry, this closed captioning went nuts. All of our previous divinations have shown that there is a lot of activity around there, and we think it's the entrance to some kind of subterranean lair for the giants. So we didn't want you to put you in a situation where you would be perceived as invading, attacking in some way, shape, or form. We wanted to give you time to try and establish contact. As we said, we would prefer to keep this peaceful, but as has been told to you, they're fairly xenophobic, and they don't do much trading, and they usually only trade with people they've got an established relationship with. So you're going to be entering at a deficit.
You keep saying that word, but some of us have actually made deals with giants before.
I'm not saying that you're not. If you were not people who we consider to be skilled, this would not be something we would be asking you to try and perform. He says the current teleportation circle is set that when you walk into it, you will automatically be teleported to that location. It says you do not have to concentrate, you don't have to do anything. This is an active circle. Yes.
Ray,
Yes, sir.
as someone who has been through one of your teleportation circles before,
But that was
are
at
we
the end of the
about to get
world.
teleported? No, it's the same. Well, a
No, I
different
said that was at
planet.
the end of the world.
It's still kind of the end of the world. So I have to ask, Ray, for my own sanity and for the sanity of my castmates, are we about to get teleported 4 months into the future?
Fuck it, let's find out. Pushes you in. What?
No, I was going to say, no, you're not, because it was 3 months. Oh, you just stepped in. Whoops. No, just kidding. No,
No,
I
you're
don't
not.
have
It's
any.
just 1 month.
I don't
Look,
have
look.
any intention of you guys going anywhere than where you're supposed to and when you're supposed to.
Uh-huh.
Look, this is
That,
not.
I mean, the studies with the Fae have said that could mean many things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did not
why are y'all
accurately
so
answer the
to do
question.
this thing? Why are y'all so scared of this? If it is, there's nothing we can do to change it. So just embrace it.
I didn't say I was scared.
I just would like foreknowledge of this, at least this time. Some
Look,
foreknowledge.
look.
Nothing wrong
This
with being
is-
prepared.
This is the same.
Wait, so are you technically scaroused?
Always.
Caroused.
Gross.
No, I
That'd
got
be
it. I
like-
got it.
Arcanophilia?
Arcanophilia? Wow.
Attracted to magic?
Attracted to magic.
Always.
Booming blade.
God damn it.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm aware of what you said. My brain heard booby blade, and I was like, what?
Blade.
Here for that too.
Now, everyone,
would be
did I make everyone's new gear yet?
No,
Mm.
I think I got mine.
you did not make me cards for it.
I
'Cause I
know
was
I
just looking.
manually entered.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was too
Oh.
tired to do that last week.
Yeah,
No,
I
okay.
unfortunately got tied up and stuff all this week, so I didn't get a chance to do it.
Yeah, I manually entered in the staff.
You entered the staff?
Put it somewhere.
Who
And
has?
No, I
No, I've got it. I've
the
got it.
periaptive hell.
Who had the rapier?
I have the rapier.
Okay. Yeah, the ethereal rapier. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a horrible weapon. Why'd I do that?
That's a horrible weapon. Why would I do that? As a
No,
ghost to a player.
No, I was like, not horrible weapon as in that's a horrible weapon, it's horrible. A horrible weapon is like, that's gonna fucking murder people.
Yep.
Through things.
Egg.
And who got the enchanted clothing?
Me.
You got it? Okay. That one was a neat one. I like that one. Alright, and then the whip went to...
I got the whip.
Yes.
I'm a Belmont now.
I'm a Belmont now. Oh man, can you use 2 whips at once?
Give them time.
I think
I just saw her eyes light up.
I do have the dexterity. I probably could.
Let's find out, shall we?
Ooh.
I actually had not watched the series until recently. I just
Oh,
watched it. Oh, it's good. No, I've watched it now. But yeah, that was.
I found the new season didn't quite.
I haven't watched that one yet. So, and no,
It's-
and spoilers for anyone else who might be watching.
No,
who hasn't watched
there's no spoilers here, but it's just one of those like
Ugh.
it's kind of hard to
Oh.
beat the season they had previously set up. They did a good
No,
job with it, and I have a feeling they're going to go further.
Nope, our baddie was great. She is one of my favorite historical
She
figures.
was. Oh,
She's-
I was
the
not
baddie is
expecting
she
that.
this time. I am completely looking forward to it then.
oh,
Oh, I
and her
love
and her
her.
and her freaking
Lieutenant,
person
whatever
from
you
the-
want to
her,
call her.
her lieutenant is whoo.
See, I
I
have
wanna
some
make-
catching up to do.
Yep, me too.
Nick, you're gonna drool.
Well, that's not unusual.
I mean, I'm just
It-
saying,
it's a
the main
natural-
baddie,
It's a natural
favorite
reaction.
historical figure. One of my favorite historical figures.
Oh, now I probably know who it is already.
Allegedly,
Allegedly.
none of what you know is true.
Allegedly, none of what I know is true. Got it.
Allegedly.
Got it. So, Mr. Timmerson kind of turns around and looks at you all as you guys are just kind of standing around, and he says, the fees that we have agreed upon. He says, since you are going out there, I'm assuming you whatever travel expenses you have currently, you have the ability to cover. I don't think you want to take that much funds with you out into the wild. Basically, the money you're working for, you don't want it to disappear if you die. What would you like done with it? We can go deposit it in a location for you to be able to utilize and come and collect from later. There is a goblin bank nearby. If you have, all we would need is a lock of your hair to secure it, and we would go set up the accounts that only you could access, and that way the funds will be there waiting when you come back. You can take any portion of that you want now.
It just takes a. I can't remember how much gold I have.
I don't even think we said how many gold we had.
I would say hold the funds for me for when I return.
We did already receive
Mhm.
200 platinum pieces.
Yes.
If my sheet is correct.
Yeah, which is 2,000
Yes.
gold. But
Yep.
that was only half. That was the initial.
No, that was just for supplies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right, because we're supposed to get an additional 5,000 on delivery.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So what he's saying is, if you didn't, because you didn't really, did you guys get yourself any personal supplies?
I did.
All right. So we can just say that whatever you picked up, we can just deduct that from the general pot of 2,000. So what he's saying is you can divide the rest of it up and have it put into accounts, or you can take it with you. It's up to you.
It makes more sense for it to be put into an account. We would not need even close to that much in the wild.
It's true.
He says, very well. He says, why don't you all decide how much you're taking with you? You can, and then each one of you give me a lock of hair, a little blood, whatever you want to secure it in the vault with, and I'll go deposit it in an account that'll be in all your names. That way, if only a few of you make it back for some reason, they'll be able to access the entire amount.
That
Seems
seems
fair.
fair enough.
Yes.
Perhaps, I mean, Cecil, you would know best how much we may possibly need out there.
honestly, unless you manage to spend all of it on supplies, the amount we got from supplies should be good enough to last.
So you just want to keep that with you. The rest of the monies will hold until you actually complete the mission.
Yes.
So
yes,
that wasn't going to be a part of it. I just knew that you probably wouldn't spend all of that on supplies. So I was going to say I could just stick it in an account for you rather than you taking it out there.
No, if Cecil thinks that would be a decent... You never know what you will find in things. Could even come in handy just in negotiations of some kind.
Very well.
I would, however, like to leave Roland with you. He has not been out in the wilds. It is no place for a young drummer cat.
Roland sitting there, looks up at you and looks absolutely hurt.
Oh, he's
I do not
offended.
want anything to happen to you, my little friend.
No, you have
Now
to protect.
Roland looks offended.
No,
And
no, no.
turns his-
All right.
Turns around 3 times, turns his back to you, and begins just grooming one paw.
Roland, darling, you are here to protect our investment and make sure they don't do anything shady after we leave.
It's exactly.
Roland looks at Timmy and kind of like just gives him a dirty look. And McTimerson looks at you guys and is like, "Are you trying to get the cat to eat me?"
No.
Not trying.
Why
Not
would
at all.
we do that?
He's like, "Look, I will watch Roland. I will watch Roland. Roland, you can come stay at my place. I guess." Does he understand what I'm saying?
Yes, he is very intelligent.
And the cat just looks at him like incredulously, and it's just like,
And now you have offended him.
it's like, it seems like that's really easy to do. And then Roland just starts growling.
Have you
Is
never
this
met a cat before?
Yes, is this the first cat you've met?
No,
Right.
This is the first one I've met that's been so understanding of what I say, and I feel that I am very unprepared for this.
Cats are very intelligent.
Oh, they always understand.
They
what you
always
say.
understand. This is just the first time you are interacting to a point where you realize this.
Well,
And they want
also,
you to know.
I realize the lethality of the situation because he's outweighs me by like 40 pounds, 50 pounds, and he's
It is true.
a foot taller than I am. So,
Well, just for now, he gets much larger.
oh,
That is true. That is very
joy.
true.
Like before you get back is gonna get much larger.
Oh, I hope not.
I don't think they grow quite that fast.
I don't think we'll be away for quite that long.
Okay, all right. I'm just preparing myself for anything that might happen. Okay. Yeah. No. He can come stay at my place.
He may claim your bed for himself. Just a warning.
I don't think it'll be big enough. I'll put him in the guest room. It has a normal size bed.
No, look at that. You'll have a bed all to yourself.
Look at that.
If they fit, they fit. It is a thing.
Roland stands up and literally just walks out the door as you're saying you'll have a bed for yourself. And the last thing you see is Roland's tail kind of going out the door, and it just flips at you and this goes.
I could be wrong. I think you pissed him off.
Probably.
Just little.
He will be all right. I will bring him something tasty to eat.
So Timerson looks a little bit pale right now, and he's like, "So that just happened."
I appreciate it.
Oh no,
Thank you.
yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine, or it'll eat me, one or the other.
Wait, Timerson's a gnome?
He's a halfling.
He's a halfling. Okay.
I'm like, no.
He's 2 foot
Don't worry. He
6.
prefers dwarves anyway.
Lots of red meat. He loves milk, and he
Okay.
loves ice cream.
Okay.
Mm.
Ice cream? This
Yes.
is gonna cost me a fortune.
Well,
If you want to
said
get in
it
his
was
good
a
graces, you will want to invest.
He doesn't like fish? I thought cats
I
like
mean,
fish.
he likes that. He likes that stuff too. But red meat, milk, and ice cream are his favorites.
Okay.
Also cheese. He does like cheese.
Oh, and cheese. He loves cheese.
Well, if he likes milk, he probably likes cheese. Goes without saying. All right. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Is there anything else you need from me? Anything else you want me to hold on to for you, and something weird happens?
No.
All right.
I can't imagine.
There is
Yes.
one thing.
What's that?
He's actually going to shift a part of the scabbard that's wrapped in cord and take out what almost looks like a piece of parchment. Shouldn't happen to me.
That is his final will and testament.
Oh.
Take this
Uh,
and the blade to the person noted in the letter.
I can have that done. I assume that I only read the letter if you don't come back.
Correct.
All right.
Or as soon as we leave, if you're nosy.
No, I take my duties to my master and to anyone else who is serving my master very seriously. I will not read that letter until I am sure that that the gentleman is not going to return.
Should we set some sort of a time limit on the off chance?
I think we already did. I thought we said 2 weeks. Because he said, remember, the teleporter will be ready to pick you up in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All I can think of.
All right. So he says, if that's all, and he kind of looks over, and the gentleman sitting in the smaller circle kind of just nods, and he says, whenever you're ready, walk into the center of the circle. By the time you reach the center of the circle, you will be at your destination. He says, you can all cross at once. He says, you all appear relatively at the same time. The area that we're teleporting you to is going to be on a very large, flat plateau. But you're going to be relatively near the edge, and there is a natural canyon that goes alongside of it. The item was actually teleported to the top of the plateau, but whatever took it down into the canyons and then navigated along the canyon beds. So if you want to try and pick up a track, you can, but as I said, he kind of like refers back to the map sitting on the table. He's like, we've already drawn you a map to the cave that we know was taken into. But because of the natures of the magical ores found in the mountain and the crystals in the mountain, divination just doesn't work well under the earth.
Of course.
Wonderful. We're all ready then. Cecil, you should probably take the map. You're navigator.
That is fair. I do know how to navigate quite well.
All right.
And if things
See you
get
on the
too
other
cold,
side.
just stay close. This armor is very good for warding off the cold, for more than just myself.
Very well.
AKA, the armor actually has a special ability while within the cold, or something that I can do with the armor, is actually cast a spell with it.
What's the spell?
Fire Shield.
And that means anyone who comes within 5 feet of you takes damage, yes?
So,
Or is it only
in
when they
this
score a hit?
case,
Oh, fire shields work like one of two ways usually.
you get
It's
cold
like a
resistance
cold or a
and immune to mid and severe environment cold.
Oh.
You can raise a shield with the fire shield as a normal shield to gain a bonus to your AC. Since I don't use a normal shield, I don't get that one. Or use the shield block, I don't have that one. But essentially, if you're hit with an unarmed attack or hit by an adjacent attacker, the attacker takes 2d6 fire damage. But the biggest effect is, along with the other items, it doesn't matter how cold it gets.
Mm-hmm.
With a combination of the armor, the cloak, and the tattoo, cold does not bother Cecil. Technically, just with the tattoo alone, in non-severe cold weather, he could walk around without armor.
Gotcha. So basically, you're kind of immune to cold environmental effects.
Yep. Now, if it was desert effects, oh no, he's fucked.
Yep. Do you take extra damage from stuff like that? From heat?
No, not
Alright.
extra, but he'd have no protection from it.
Got it. No problem. All right. So,
Right back, though.
yeah, Mr. McTimerson looks at you all and he says, anytime you're ready then.
tie off a little braid and cut it and hand it over
He takes it.
for my deposit.
He says, thank you. Oh, you're taking the money with you.
Oh, we're taking all the money with us?
Yeah. The rest of the traveling expenses you're taking with you.
Yes, but for the
For the
thing,
yeah, for our,
for the bank for the
additional
rest
money.
of it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Just like,
It just cuts off a lock or a small bit of lock,
Mm-hmm.
hands it over, and he looks at the space next to him. Yes, no, it is fine. Yes, I know. No, you don't have to worry about that. Okay.
Timmy kind of looks at the rest of you. Okay. I take it that Este is gonna give a little bit of hair.
Actually, she, because of the fluctuating nature of her body, probably gives blood so that the hair doesn't like
Disappear.
basically disappear.
He
It's
says,
like I'm having trouble finding your hair.
he says, okay, that's fine. And they do have small vials provided.
Yeah, so she'll prick you a little bit of blood, hand over the vial.
Gotcha.
Picturing her blood is just like the memories from like Harry Potter before they're like dumped into the Pensieve. They're all just like
Yeah.
whooshy.
Whooshy.
Whooshy and sparkles. Sometimes it's translucent. It looks like little
Yep.
rainbows going through it. So,
Ah,
And it just watches that happen. Wow, even your blood is pretty.
All of me is very pretty.
I cannot argue that.
Mr. Timmons goes, okay, so, good luck to everyone, and thank you once again for taking this task on. There is
Yes, of course.
nothing more I can say. Farewell. He's like waiting for whoever's gonna start walking out first.
all right, I
right.
suppose.
Ah,
Bowed face and walk across the circle.
The goggles, like, make sure the goggles are on the board so you can look down in case there is a snowstorm.
And your
you might want to put your
is-
mic down because we can barely hear you, man.
Oh, god damn it. It went to the default. God, motherfucker.
We can still hear you. It sounds like you're far away from the mic.
There we go. Fixed
There we
it.
go.
I keep the wrong one. Just make sure, like, the goggles are tied onto forehead so he looks like Sid from Final Fantasy VII. As he just steps through the portal.
Gotcha. So you guys walk in, and as the magician said, you walk in from the edge, and as you walk towards the center, the world kind of gets distorted, and you walk from the edge to the center, and as you do, it actually gets brighter, and the next thing you know, you're standing on top of a large rock. Not atoll, good lord. Well, large rock plateau. There is not much growing up here because it literally is like stone. In the few packed areas where there's packed earth between gaps in the stone, there's like these little sage brushes that grow up between it. There is a wind blowing that is incredibly chilly and cold. Anyone who is not like completely wrapped up in the cold weather gear has left anything open. The wind comes in and bites against the skin anywhere there's a gap. Your faces instantly start getting very, very chilled if you did not put the full facial coverings on. The only person this obviously doesn't affect is Cecil.
Oh, mother's tits, and just pull it all close.
Yeah, Kelly's like, I think my nipples are stuck to my armor.
This feels good.
Were you not wearing something between your nipples and the armor?
Yes, but never mind. I'm not going to explain it.
Never. That is fair. That
If
is
you're
fair.
sweating in armor and it gets too cold, the sweat can freeze.
we know how water and cold.
Then why are you acting surprised?
Kelly says, okay, let's just move the conversation on from my nipples.
Yeah. Let's not continue conversations about. Yes. Anyway, what direction are we going?
Kelly says, I have no idea. They said something about a canyon nearby.
Hold on. Let's
map-
get a lay of the land.
So as you pull out the map, you can see from the lines, you are definitely in the mountain system proper. but you're not like up in the high points. You're just in the footlands and the steppes below the mountain itself. There is a canyon from where you're sitting in the orientation of the mountains around you. You can see that there is a canyon that is going to be like due east of you, northeast of you, and it is probably not even like, it shouldn't be more than like a few hundred yards away.
I think this is our best bet.
So you start making your way in that direction.
Let's go.
Yes.
So Cecil takes the lead. Are you guys just kind of roaming across the lands? Are you actually in a marching order or what?
The ghost formation is probably best at this point.
Yeah. Idris will take the rear and just kind of keep an eye on things from the back.
Okay.
And
Kelly,
also,
yeah.
as we are walking, as this is like kind of tundric cold, yeah.
Yes.
First thing Idris will do will be to use his Seer of the Dead ability to see if there are any spirits wandering about that he might be able to query.
Now, this is not just undead. Is this any type of spirits, or is it just undead?
Ghosts, spirits. You have long been gifted with the ability to see and speak with the departed. This could have manifested at your birth, or when a chance encounter linked you inexorably to the spirits of the dead.
Got it.
Constant presence might feel like a curse, or it might provide you with welcome companionship.
So there are no spirits in this general area, which isn't too surprising. This seems more like open, like area. There doesn't seem, you can't tell there's any settlements nearby. So there's no, this would be someone who like randomly died out here. You know what I mean?
Right.
This isn't like a Rainbow Pass situation.
Yeah. So there's no spirits directly out here of anyone who's passed.
Doesn't seem to have many that would have passed on in this area. This is encouraging.
It's because probably no one comes out of this area. It's so freaking cold.
Kelly's like, can we hurry up and get to the canyon? At least that'll provide a windbreak.
Windbreak, yes. For us and anything else.
Well,
Your
that
guard's
probably
up.
means that other things will be sheltering in the canyon, and we'll actually get to fight, which will get our blood pumping.
Oh,
Don't go looking for a
Please.
fight out here.
I'm
The
not
ones you'll
looking
find
for
are not what you
anything
expect.
but to get out of the wind.
Tried to
Este?
warn you all.
Yeah, but no matter how much you warn someone, when you encounter this level of cold, it is
Sam,
never
Yeah.
pleasant.
Do you want to visit me next month?
That's what I was like in character.
Do you want to
He's like this.
test
out
any
of
of this-
character?
any
I
of this
fully
theory?
understand this. I fully understand this feeling. I fucking hate that feeling.
Yeah.
Listen, I got snow last month. Snow.
See, I don't mind the snow because
I
it's
remember-
typically like more humid weather, so it makes the cold.
But you're on
More
the
bearable?
coast. You're on the coast.
But if
It's
you're getting like
completely
heavy
different.
winds along with it, no.
Oh yeah, because I was in DC.
Snow has different issues.
I was in the DC area for that blizzard that hit in 2014. I was working a
Ooh.
contract there.
Ew.
It was number one. It was the first time I had ever been in a blizzard.
Wait, which year was that?
2014.
Shit, I was at Norfolk during that storm. The base shut down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Guess what? I still had to do drive to work
Yep.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Yep.
because I was working for Verizon's federal department.
Ooh, yeah. No, they won't shut you down for nothing.
So I had to go into work. Luckily, I was in a Jeep at that time, so it wasn't that bad. But I tried to go out because I didn't know anything about anything. So I tried to just back out of the driveway, and naturally, snow had piled up under the car, and my rear axle just got hung up on the snow, and I was just sitting there, spinning tires, doing nothing. I had to go borrow a snow shovel from someone just to be able to get out of there.
Yep, you need a snow
wow.
shovel. You should always keep a snow shovel in your truck or your vehicle, a bag of sand, a woven like mat, like carpet mat thing,
Mm-hmm.
and jumper cables.
Yes.
Just for your car.
I had one of those cool window scrapers that also has the brush and everything on it and like that.
Yeah.
And then I had jumper cables and everything else like that. I just didn't have the bag of sand because I didn't know about that, and I didn't have a snow shovel in my car.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
That would have been wild because we were actually supposed to relocate there if that job had stuck around. But yeah, that I'm almost thankful we didn't. That was scary.
Yes, let's move towards the valley so we can
Gotcha.
get these fine city folks some cover from the wind.
Kelly kind of glares at you and he's like, I don't know exactly what's giving you all the extra protection, but I know that if you didn't have that, you'd be feeling just like we do.
Well, part of it's this, just taps the armor.
He's like, well, then I'm glad you have that type of armor. He's like, I am going to get the fuck out of the cold. And she just starts walking in towards the direction you pointed.
Yeah, just marching through the snow, full on like fingers under the armpits.
Oh yeah, that's the other scary thing. If there is snow, the point where people sticking in, he's walking on top of it.
Oh yeah, no, there's no snow. That's another thing. There's no snow. There's no moisture. This is almost like Colorado, high desert.
So it's more like Rocky Mountain cold.
Yep. It's just that stupid biting wind. This place looks very like, it's a lot of rock. And like I said, there's very little, that's just scrub everywhere where there's no rock. And so it's very arid, very windy, and just bitter cold. So it's just not fun.
Oh, God, I have vivid memories of this. There's a polar vortex not that long ago.
Yep. And
Let's keep
that's
moving,
the
then.
shitty part. There's nowhere to take shelter.
Ugh.
So you guys are moving. Sorry for the dramatic memories, Cassie.
It was sucked just walking from the car to the door in the garage.
Yep.
Ugh.
Oh, I know. Negative 15 degrees and a wind chill factor of negative 30.
I think it was lower than that.
Oh, it probably
actually.
was, because I was in Virginia when that happened, and the general temperatures are going to be higher there just because of the ocean.
Yeah, I think we got negative 60 wind chill.
Jesus.
Fuck
I
that.
think so. It was colder than like the Antarctic. It was real bad. It was real bad.
It's supposed to get that bad again this year.
I know. That's why I'm making sweaters.
Mood.
Nice.
All right,
Back
all
on
right.
topic, however.
Seriously, none for the weather. All right, so you guys walk for probably not more than like 10 minutes. And, you estimate that this is close to, give me a second, about a quarter mile. And then, so you basically get to the point. Yeah. So by that time, you guys are like, you're ready for any type of shelter. As you're walking along, you come into an area where you can see that there's a huge gap in the stone, right? It's very expansive and wide. Has anyone ever been to in Utah where they have those canyons that have been cut out by the wind?
I've seen pictures.
Yeah. So this looks very similar to that. This is a narrow canyon that has been cut very steeply into the stone. But at the bottom of the canyon, there is a stream flowing at a decent speed. But you can see that there is, whether created naturally or not, about 30 feet down the canyon. And the canyon is probably about 60 feet. It goes up and down, but at the highest, it's about 60 feet. But there is a trail that is cut out of the side of the stone. Now, the trail itself is significant. It's like 10 feet wide. It's not like just one of those things you see on the side of the mountain with a chain you have to hang on to so you don't fall off. This thing's like 10 feet wide. So this thing doesn't look like it was made by the wind. It looked like it was cut.
Okay.
And
Well,
it's
someone has been here.
Let's see if we can't do survival once we get up there to see who or what might have made this trail.
So the other thing you notice is as you're walking up to the trail, you can see that there are points that have been points along the trail. There are steel O-rings on metal spikes, and these are big fucking steel O-rings that have been driven into the stone at the top of the ridge. And it would be very easy and simple to rig a rappelling rope to go down.
This clearly looks like it was meant for somebody to climb down.
And the down below where the trail is, it's always at least 20 to 30 feet below the level of the top of the ridge of the thing.
Well, want me to climb up and get some rope up there so we can get down the
Climb
easy way?
down. Yeah.
Oh wait, no, climb down. We're trying to go
Yeah.
up. Or are we
Well-
trying to go up or down?
No,
I thought we were
you're,
trying to get down.
yeah, you're supposed to be following the canyon.
Like, well, they want me to get on up there so we can get a rope through it?
It's on the ground.
Oh, it's on the ground. Never mind.
Yeah. Yep. So
Thought it was
basically,
up high.
you're still on this flat plane, right? But suddenly you come up in this big open canyon that's probably about 40, 50 feet wide, and it tapers down at the bottom because it's being cut by water. At the bottom of the canyon, there is a flowing stream. About 15 to 20 feet up from the flowing stream, there is this 10-foot wide platform that has been cut out of the side of the canyon.
Ah,
And
okay.
it doesn't just go. The reason that you probably think it's man-made is because it just stays about the same width and goes
The
just keeps
entire
on
way.
going on either direction along the canyon wall. And there's those metal eye-rings at the top of the canyon that are been set in stone, and they're about every 100 feet or so. So this was done very purposely. Probably actually more than that. Probably, let's say about 100 yards then. These are put in very purposely to give people places where they can easily rappel down and back into the canyon.
Well,
And the O-rings are fucking huge.
how these things were made already.
are huge.
Some huge O's over here.
So, not only are they huge, they're metal.
As they should be.
So, what's your plan of action at this point? Kelly's kind of standing at the top of looking down, and she's doing that little thing where she's dancing in place to try and stay warm, and she's got her cloak is out, and she's like got it draped over her shoulders, and she's like, okay, I am sticking to places I should not be sticking to. Can we please decide what we're doing?
We're supposed to follow this path, right? Like, just,
We're supposed to follow the
Follow
canyon.
yeah. So, path it is.
Yes, down is good. I like down.
Yeah, that's no responses. Let's do that.
So, are you gonna go down first, Cecil?
Yep.
All right. So, what you're going to do for me?
Ooh,
What's up?
Skill checks.
here we go.
Oh, wrong button. 1 second. There's Molten Hosting. Oh, I see what I did there. That's bad. Where's Molten? This one. So let me get rid of this. And this. Oh. All right, there we go. All right, so let me bring up a character sheet real quick for Cecil. And let me check out your skills. It's probably a survival
Depending
roll.
on- Survival?
Yeah. You can technically, yeah, it'd be survival over everything
I was about to
else.
say, because if it has to do with climbing, I actually have something that could
Mountain
negate
lore?
any skill check altogether.
Is it the mountain lore?
A mountain lore would be more knowledge of the mountains and such.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be like recalling specific information about about a specific mountain area that could be useful. So it's kind of like, hey, you want to make like
Tree and leaf.
a nature check could be like in general. A lore check would be an easier check because it's about this specific area that you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like a banana and split.
So what are you going to use that
Motherfucker.
can negate it?
Well, if it has to do with climbing, you
Mhm.
can actually use an item.
Oh, what's the item?
Granted, reflavoring some of the design of it, so it's not necessarily clockwork, but it looks like he reaches into his bag and pulls out what looks like a set of gloves that almost appears to have like reptilian pads from where the fingers are.
Okay.
Just puts them on, flex them a little bit, and they just start reclimbing.
Okay. Well, are you...
They give you a climb speed for 1 hour.
Oh, okay. So you don't even have to make a roll then because you have climb speed.
And one thing he'll do is he'll actually reach into his bag. It's like, all right, I've got just enough. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Kelly's looking at you and says, "Okay, what are these? What'd you give him?
Put them on.
Oh, the gloves?
I had 5 sets, considering they only last an hour.
Oh,
So as he puts it on, just watch. He just starts free climbing, effortlessly grabbing hold of tight spots, moving down.
Kelly's like, okay, I guess this is how we're doing this. Free climbing and armor is going to be great."
Take off my gloves to put on the gloves?
No, they can go over. They're quite flexible.
Kelly like pulls them on over. She's like, they went over mailed gauntlets.
Okay.
Let's see if they can do anything. And she kind of like goes to the edge, and she's doing that thing where she's doing that scuttle, sliding her butt off the edge because she's like terrified. And then she finally realizes, oh, okay, these. And she just like reaches down. She like just lowers herself down over the edge. And is like, okay, never mind. This is fine. But she is making a lot of clanging noises because she's still dragging plate mail armor across rocks.
Yeah.
So she can definitely climb. She just isn't going to do it quietly. So are the rest of you guys climb down? Because it does give you a climb speed, which means you can say, as long as you don't try and move quickly and stick to the climb speed, which I think this equals your movement.
Correct.
So you have it. Yeah, you can make it down here. There's no even need to rush with 30 feet of movement at the minimum. You guys can make it down here, no problems. So as you make it down to the area, you notice that the path is not perfect. It's not exactly 10 feet all the way through. Some places it's wider, and sometimes it's like not exactly perfectly level. But for the most part, it is very obviously been cut out of the side of the cliff, and it's got a bit of an overhang in a lot of places so that it has some cover from above as well as being out below the wind line. Once you get down there, the sound changes abruptly because you go from having that wind just whistling by your ears at all times to having this kind of howl in the canyons itself that seems to be echoing back and forth. You can see down into where the creek, the river, well, small river is flowing down at the bottom, that there is actually ice in the river that is flowing along with the water. Fairly big pieces.
I don't want to even know how cold that water is and not being frozen.
Kelly says, I don't even want to think about falling in there, so I'm going to stay along the wall if no one minds.
Smart.
That seems like a good idea. What are you doing? This is like looking off. What are you? Never mind. Why am I even concerned about you? And then keeps going.
Kelly's kind of looks at you, and then she looks back at Accordia, and she says, "Is he all right?"
Oh, yes, no.
Cecil just kind of like hold one of his flasks
Invisible
close to his
friends.
armor to make sure it's nice and warm, and then hold it over Idris. You're seeming to behave a little bit dehydrated.
What do you mean? No, I had some water before we left.
It is not a hallucination. Yeah, spirits.
Oh, that's
Oh, right. I can see ghosts. Yes, that's a
Yeah,
good thing.
no.
Sorry, I did not alert everyone to this.
no,
yes.
that's definitely no. But
Kelly,
Okay.
Yes,
Kelly kind of looks at you and
I'm-
says, "Do you have a particular one that's following you around? Because you seem to have a very familiar relationship with one of them."
yes, I am bound to a ghost. Her name is Isadora. She is a
Bound?
handful sometime. Yes, I'm talking about you. Yes, you deserve every word of it. Sorry.
Kelly says,
She can be,
"Well, please convey to Isadora my great regret on her passing. I'm sure that they would much rather be alive, and that I hope that they can forgive my oversight of not addressing them sooner. I didn't know they were there.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. Everyone may have their own private information. You don't have to reveal every single secret about yourself.
What is happening?
And you knew. You froze a couple seconds ago if you're having computer issues. Like your net may be fluctuating.
It looks like my net's being stupid. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't as bad as Sam's earlier, but it was just a little bit of a hesitation.
That a little bit.
Gotcha. So, you're supposed to be following the canyon, and I assume that means going the opposite direction of the river, because the river flows down from the mountain.
Yeah, so we need to head into the river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you begin walking upstream.
Not into the river, into the mountain.
Yeah, up into the mountains.
Words.
So you begin following the canyon back.
Into the thick of it.
Into the thick of it.
It very quickly becomes a situation where you guys can't hear each other very well unless you're like right close to each other and talking like almost into each other's ears because of the howling wind above. But it is noticeably warmer here, which is not saying a hell of a lot. But the biggest difference is the wind is not. Oh, there goes Sphinx.
Oh, bye-bye.
It's all right.
Oh
That's it.
no! He's back
And he's
already.
back.
That was fast.
And only a couple people are switched around. But yes, so
refreshed.
but I was saying, you guys can see that the or not see, but feel that the air here is warmer because it's not basically the cold wind whipping above you, and you not easily, but you can bear this temperature much better. The only thing about it is because of its proximity to the water below, there is occasional patches where the path gets icy when it gets lower towards the river and closer to the river, and there's mist and spray from the river itself. Obviously it gets frozen over in those places, and you have to be incredibly cautious walking across.
Does anybody have any salt?
No, but I do have this. And for the icy patch, he'll literally use the spell Ignition.
Is it
To
a
quite
cantrip?
literally, yes,
Okay.
to
The remix
literally
edition?
just snapping his finger and just melting
Better
it
than
away.
All right. You actually have to end up doing that quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a cantrip.
Oh, I know. No, I'm just saying it quickly becomes like another portion of monotony as you walk along, for like 20 minutes. Then you have to melt a bunch of ice. Then you can walk again for a while. As you're moving through the canyon, you see that that you come up to like several forks in the canyon as you're following the stream back up. The trail you're on only goes along one side of the canyon. So when the canyon forks out, like when two streams are coming together to join into the river, or another river is joining in, you can only stay on the path you're on, and you don't see another path on the other side or going on the other forks. So this path was obviously created by someone to go somewhere specific. So you guys continue to march along. After you march for about 2 hours, you come to an area where instead of, this being just a straight flat wall on your left, you can see that there is a steel ladder that has been mounted into the wall. The ladder itself, the rungs, instead of being like 18 inches apart roughly, they're like 3 feet apart.
Oh.
And the ladder is about 6 feet wide.
That's made for giants.
Yeah, it
That
is.
is a big ladder.
This is also the closer you get into the mountains, the deeper the river has cut into the stone. So now where you're at, that from the ridge you're on, that ladder goes up like 75 feet.
Jesus.
That is not sized for people our size.
No, not at all.
Well, it's a good thing we still have those gloves then. I should still have some time on them.
You've been
You've been walking for 2 hours.
Oh, never
How
mind then.
long of range do these have?
not that much.
About an hour's worth of use.
Is it
So-
use or is it time from activation? Like, does the spell on the gloves only last for 1 hour?
It's not a spell, it's the actual.
Enchantment of the
Actually-
item.
Yeah. But it looks like
So
they do
there's-
last for an hour. So, like,
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's probably not an
it's
on-off
like,
situation.
Kelly kind of walks to the base of the ladder and is looking up. She's like, it's not going to be as simple as with the gloves, but it's at least it's something more secure than like trying to climb up a rope or climbing up the side of the face of the cliff itself.
How like steep are the rungs to like stand on?
What do you mean by steep?
Or like
How far
Wide.
out do they
What-
land?
what's the run?
Normally the rungs
we
on the
know
ladder.
the rise.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
rise
what's
on the
the
ladder
run?
is like about 18 inches normally. That's like a
Yes.
standard ladder. This ladder, the rise is about 3 feet.
Okay, and then the run on like a typical ladder is like nothing.
Yeah.
Are
this
these
ladder,
significantly?
Significantly. These are like 3
Okay.
feet wide.
Okay.
And
Okay.
the steel bars are about 2 inches thick.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Now,
mean,
we
the
can work
ladder
with
is,
theoretically,
the ladder
we
is
could
rusted and
stand on
everything, but it
one
doesn't
and
look weakened.
pull ourselves up onto the next.
Kelly's like, yeah. No, we can climb up these. It's just not going to be comfortable or quick.
No.
No.
definitely not. But we make do.
I hope you did not skip arm day.
Kelly looks at you and says, I'm all about arm day.
Yes, you are. Look at that. You and the hammer.
All right.
Mm.
She's like, you
Ah,
know what's horrible
Let's
about
get
plate
it.
mail? No posing.
I mean, you can
Oh,
still
that
pose
is-
and plate. Just a
I'm
different
sure you
like-
could pull it off.
are we going to
Impressive.
sit around and gawk, or are we going to climb this damn thing? Come on.
It's like, you're going first, remember?
Yes,
We can't do two
Sam.
things at once.
Go on, fearless leader.
Multitasking is a thing.
How is he?
Also
How are
not-
the rest of you so cool and he's so serious?
Different environments.
Yeah.
This natural environment is very serious here. I get this feeling.
Hmm.
I'm supposing it's because he's so serious because this place is terrifying and we're all gonna die.
Oh, don't be
Also,
so
yes.
dramatic. You'll only
if you
die
don't-
if you're stupid.
If he thought we were going to die, I don't think he would have come along with us.
She's like, I know, but I'm pulling his leg.
To check what my intelligence was real quick. Like, am I stupid? No, I'm not that stupid.
All right. So we are going to make rolls for climbing the ladder because it's so awkward and weird to climb this. Like, literally, there's a 3-foot gap between each rung of the fucking ladder. So that's going to be strange. But it is time for our break. So what I'm going to say is we're going to take a 10-minute break. And then when we get
Yes.
back, we're going to have people give us some rolls to climb up this 75-foot ladder that literally is going to have you suspended up in the air above either what would be a fall onto a stone platform that's 10 feet wide, or if you miss the platform, a plunge into literally icy waters. And the icy waters are going to
This is
sweep,
wonderful.
and the icy waters are going to sweep you in the opposite direction you just came.
After break, who's gonna die?
After
Literally.
break, we're going to
Gonna
watch and
die.
see if environmental effects can kill players or not. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for having joined us tonight. We will see you in 10 minutes, and we'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Boop. And we are back. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I had to run around and do a bunch of stuff real fast. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this, but we have new shirts in our merch store. These shirts were just recently completed for us on commission by the amazing artist Red Queen Hales. They are inspired by... some of them are inspired, most of them are inspired by things that happened in stream, or, you know, different memes that are very true of the TTRPG world. They're all available in our Streamlabs store, our merch store. If you want to check them out, you can go to our merch link, which is going to be posted up in chat right now, and check them out. But if you just want to see what they look like, let me see if I can get this up here. I'm just going to grab this real fast. Window capture. I'll bring that one in. Let me make it more focused on the shits so I can make it bigger. So these are the 5 new designs we just added to the actual shop. Like I said, these are all commissioned by the amazing Red Queen Hales. These shirts are very much big about all about the gamer lifestyle. We have the very traditional I didn't ask how big the room is, I cast fireball, and if you see the bottom of the fireball is basically 8d6, so it's wonderful of that one. And the other one is a hand throwing a dice into a dice tower with the words, "Are you sure you want to do that?" beside it, which is the ultimate GM question. I should have done another one that says, "You can try." That's another favorite. And then there's another one that says, if you are... Where is it? It says, if you don't play D&D to flirt with your friends, you're doing it wrong.
Yes.
And then there's the always, when the DM smiles, it's already too late. And then the final one is was inspired and created by the amazing Cassie. And it literally came from this game. It is no initiative, just fuck. So if you want to pick up any of these shirts, we made sure to do our best to keep the cost on them down, because we wanted people that we love and care about to be able to have cool stuff. Like for the sizes up to, I think it's up to 1X. I think they're like $22 a shirt, and then it goes up from there. Unfortunately, being a big boy myself, I completely feel that owie. But you know, that's just because we're using print on demand, and that has higher overall costs than we would have if we were able to print these out ourselves. And frankly, I don't know if we have time to print these out right now with everything else going on. But if you do want one of those shirts, you can use a link for our merch and you can get them, and we would love for you to have them because I love them and it's amazing. I think they're amazing. I just don't think that I'll be able to wear the no initiative just fuck it to anywhere but cons.
Yeah, I was literally just thinking, like, what color should I get it? I can't wear this to work.
If you do order it, I would say I want pictures, because we use the generic model from Streamlabs, but that means it's the same model wearing every single shirt, and I'd love to get pictures of you guys wearing the shirts instead, so I can use those for the pictures. So that would be wonderful. So if you have the shirts, you take pictures of them and send them back to me. And if anyone buys the shirts and they send me pictures, I'll put them up in all of our the pictures of the people who buy shirts in all our social medias. If you want me to, I won't just do it. If you want me to do
Fuck
it,
it, I'll take the free publicity.
I know. I'll put your link in it too if you want me to for your socials. So
Hell yeah, just flashbang the world with my face.
Yep. Oh, one quick thing that's not related to the game. What does everyone think of Nintendo making the live-action Zelda movie?
I don't know.
I am cautiously hyped.
I could be hurt. I think I'd be okay with it.
You're okay with getting hurt, though.
Yeah. You're a little bit more
I will
than
fight
okay
you
with it.
about some of that, though. I mean, I've seen Hollywood destroy some books and other media.
Well, and
Yeah.
video games, they're
Cough, cough,
notorious
Assassin's
for
Creed, cough,
fucking
cough.
up. Cassie.
Oh no, Assassin's Creed was mild compared to
Oh,
some
no.
of the things I'm
Oh
talking
yeah.
about.
yeah, Remember the
Yeah.
Blood Rain movie? Oh my god,
The Blood Rain movie.
The Blood Rain movie
Aragon.
was legendary. Aragon wasn't as bad as Blood Rain
It wasn't
in any
as
way, shape, or form.
bad. No,
The
we
straight to DVD Tekken movie.
had a coworker put on The Last Airbender.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Oh.
Were the Mortal
Oh.
Kombat movies good, or were we just little kids when they came out?
For little kids that
I mean,
were
it
just
was-
hyped
Yeah,
about it.
it was just a good time.
Yeah. So yeah, man, it's really difficult to be hopeful for a video game based movie. Hollywood has been so trash about those.
Street
It's been
Fighter.
pretty bad. They've been pretty bad.
Listen.
Although-
listen. As terrible as that movie was, Raul Julia.
Yeah.
Raul
Yeah,
Although-
yeah, you're right.
We
You're
do
not
have
wrong.
Silent Hill.
Okay. Yeah. But let's take that as a different concept because that's the horror genre. And the horror genre has its own rules
That's true.
overall
It
for
does.
movies and for video games.
Monster Hunter.
Oh my god, that thing's horrible.
Oh God, don't I had
mean,
all but
great-
forgotten they
great
made that
The
into a
original
film.
Resident Evils.
Fuck you for reminding me.
All the Resident
Fuck you
Evils.
for reminding me.
I mean, great,
The new
wonderful
ones were-
special effects,
Oh, God,
lovely
no.
gore in the Resident Evil movies, real badass monsters in the Monster Hunter movie, but the writing, the plot, everything else sucked. Ugh. Sorry, folks, we got sidetracked, but I just wanted to bring that up because I was going through our Facebook to pull up those pictures of the shirts, and I saw that post I posted earlier today on our social medias about what does everyone think about the Zelda movie, and yeah,
Cautious hype. Cautiously
hype.
hype.
I mean, Nintendo is very respectable of their own properties, so
Yeah,
they
yeah.
don't.
I mean, they
don't
weren't
wanna
that
put out
one
shit.
time.
This
Which
isn't
one?
going to be
Oh, the original
Mario
Super
The
Mario
original
Bros.
Super
movie?
Mario Brothers.
But they didn't make that movie. They gave the rights to someone else to make that movie. This
That's
movie
true.
is being directly controlled by Nintendo. Nintendo has
Yeah.
the final say on everything.
Partnership with them and Sony. Yeah, I
Yep.
saw that. It's like, all right, this might be better. This might be better.
Yep. All right. So, and I think was it Cassie? Was it you who replied back that it was like you would rather see it animated?
No, I have not been on Facebook.
It wasn't just Facebook. We have it on Facebook and Twitter and everything else. So someone replied back that it was like they would much rather see it be animated than
That might have been
live
Admiral.
action. Oh, it might have been.
Possibly. I want to see the cast list. I want to see a cast list,
yeah,
and then
show it
I
to me,
will
show it to
will
me.
make my judgments once I see a cast.
I'll hold off any judgment until there is cast.
Yeah, that's true. Another thing is someone on the Facebook page said, if Link doesn't speak for the entire movie, that's the only way I'll be okay with it.
Link can't speak. He
Yeah,
can, he can make his grunty noises.
Yeah.
Ah!
Do you think Link likes his coffee cold or cat?
Good lord. All right. Well, let's get back to it. So, you guys are navigating this thing. You come to the area with the giant ladder going up. You're going to have to climb up the ladder. I will actually let you, if you, what skills would you think you would be utilizing to make this climb?
Athletics for Cecil.
Acrobatics.
Yeah,
With
acrobatics.
the difference with the distance between the rungs, I could absolutely see you having to do these massive jumps to get from one spot to the next.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick athletics.
Athletics, alrighty. So let's go ahead and mech some rolls. I'm going to roll secretly for Kelly's roll.
I'm just lucky I have peace.
Wait, hang on, let me check something real quick before we get started.
Mm-hmm.
On something in my inventory, I just wanna take a look at and see how. All right, do we all have rope?
Yes.
I propose that we all tie lines of rope to ourselves and connect them to the lines of rope that we're tying each to
Ooh,
ourselves.
yes, good idea.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't
But if somebody falls,
Okay.
Kelly says,
Smart move.
that's
We all
really smart, and I'm going to add another smart thing
Okay.
onto it. Everyone else go first and stand at the top, and I'll go last, because that's the only way you'll weigh enough to counterbalance me.
Fair.
That
that is
fair.
smart.
My
Yes.
armor weighs like 70 pounds.
Yes.
That's fair. All right,
Dang it. Okay.
let's get it on.
What I thought it was.
All right, so
I
who's going to
think
roll
that is
first?
a different thing entirely, Cecil, but I get your drift.
I rolled. Ooh, this is a great-ish. I got the 25.
With a plus 18 to it.
I know. It was that great-ish.
It's the only good thing. The best thing about the situation is there's not a lot of ice or anything on the bars. There's no ice in the bars. So what I'm going to say is, basically those. Wow, who's player 3?
Oh no, Sam.
Sam.
That's me, actually.
wow.
So you know
Ouch,
what?
Sam.
We're gonna burn one of the hero points to try to re-roll that.
Okay. That's really rough. You rolled a 4.
That's rough, buddy.
That's rough,
That's rough,
buddy.
buddy.
Let's try that again. That's more like it.
And I will make Kelly's roll real quick. Oh, Jesus. She rolled a natural 20.
Nice.
Nice.
There we go.
So you guys are
Shit.
making your way up. The only one who has any real trouble is Accordia, and she doesn't have trouble. You just the whole thing of going 3 feet per rung. You can make the climb. It's just that comparatively, everyone else is doing this whole thing where they're just pulling each other up, and they're feeling they're very nimbly going over it. You keep on doing these things where you're hunk over by your waist and holding on with 2 arms and kicking your legs against the wall, and then you manage to push yourself up, and then you have to do the vertical press to get up, and then you are sitting there trying to grab the bar 3 feet over your head and just barely tapping it with your fingers, and it's just it's not a situation where you're in absolute danger, but there are some situations where everyone above you is just braces on the rope real quick.
I can also imagine instead of climbing up normally, Cecil's using the edge of the ladder and basically digging in feet, going up a rung, going up the side of the ladder because it's easier to grab.
I guess.
I was literally looking through my skill feats, and I have 3 climbing ones. Too.
Oh my god.
There you go.
Yeah, I have steady balance, combat climber. I also have.
Well, that's odd because you
catfall.
only had a plus 18 to your roll.
Yeah,
Some
I
of
just
those are
rolled.
very, very situational.
It's cold, man. It's cold.
Yeah.
I'm blaming cold.
So as you come up out of the actual canyon, when you get to the top, the first thing you notice at the top of the canyon is that instead of coming out into another flat area, this is more of a area of there's all these boulders strewn across this field around you. And you can see that you are much deeper into the mountains now because you're in basically what seems to be a protected veil. Basically, the mountain has 2 ridges that are going on either side of you. And you can see that the river, the canyon keeps on winding up the veil, but you can see that the canyon shallows out very quickly as it comes up, and there is literally a waterfall spilling off of a cliff face of the mountain down into a pool that feeds the top of this river. So the canyon would have ended about another 3/4 of a mile above you. So that's probably why this ladder exists here. You can see that this area also has been, it's excessively worn. There is a huge circle that's been cut into the ground that has ashes in it. There are a couple of because like I said, there's boulders everywhere. You can see that several of the boulders have been broken down and cut up and used to build huge stone shelters. They're little more than stone lean-tos, But like, whereas a lean-to for a human being is maybe 3 feet tall and just there to give you a windbreak and some cover, these stone lean-tos that have been built out here, they stand an average of 15 feet tall, and there is enough room for like all of you to gather underneath one of them.
Sizzle just kind of just raise a hand. It's like,
And the boulders are all at least 10 to 15 feet tall, and there's so many of them strewn throughout here that it's almost like a stone forest, except there's no like overhanging branches. And you can see there's a path that goes away through the boulders. It's kind of like serpentining through the boulders, but the only reason you can see that there's a path there is because there are 2 well-worn wheel ruts. The wheel ruts themselves are about 10 feet apart.
welcome to giant territory.
This is going to be fun.
Some giants are more temperamental than others.
Yeah. You can also see there's signs of a smaller fires in front of each one of the lean-tos, but right in this big flat area where you came out of the pit on, there is a huge, like I said, fire pit in the, about 20 feet in from the raised area where you climbed up out of. There's ashes in the fire pit, and you can see that there are still sparks and embers in the fire pit. And as you get closer, it's still fairly warm. It fairly much looks like they threw whole trees in there.
Just get a little close. Okay.
Is there still embers to it?
Yeah.
Or has the fire?
No, there's still embers to it.
Let's
Yeah,
do a
that's what-
survival check. See if I can figure out about how long this has been active.
Make a roll for it, please.
Let's see. I need survival.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to keep an eye out and make sure that there aren't any giants lingering about.
Can I make a
That's a
perception
30.
check?
Go right ahead.
I was going to ask to do that as well.
Go for it. So you got a 30 total?
30 total.
So you...
Ooh.
Ouch.
Ugh,
Someone had an embolism.
that was me.
There's a
Ouch.
1 on
You
dice and
roll
there's a
much
2
better.
on dice.
Yeah,
Literally.
I know. She beat you by 1, but she beat you. So anyway...
Hit me anytime she likes.
Yeah, there you go. But you are so the two of who are looking around, the biggest problem you have is there's obviously this place is a well-used campsite. Okay? There is a lot of, the stone is, almost cleaned from all the footprints that walk all across it. So it's very hard to establish how many people have been here. The only reason you know how long or can get an estimate of how long they might have been here is by the fact that the big fire, not the little ones in front of the lean-tos, but what would have been the big fire in front of this place, is still hot. Now, because they're using such large pieces of wood, like they literally built this fire up to the point where they apparently broke apart something about the size of a fucking tree and used it for kindling. There's no trees around here, by the way. So they had to have brought this wood with them. But the trees, the kindling, the embers are still going. If this fire was left unattended, it could have been, probably with the amount of ash and the remaining wood pieces there, it's probably 2 days since this fire was originally lit.
It's like
It's just such a
catching the wind.
massive
He's
fire.
looking at the edge. It's like minimum of 2 days ago they were here.
And what did you roll total? 30? Yeah. One
30.
other thing you can get with that survival check is this fire would have been very visible. The other fires would have been fine for cooking or whatever else they wanted to do. The ones in front of the lean-tos. This fire was set for a reason.
Astronaut fire.
It's like this was either a ritual fire or a signal fire.
I think it was a fire to keep bloody warm.
No, they wouldn't
Side
need one this
effects,
size.
Yeah.
Not this wood either.
Yeah. Kelly says if they're frost giants, they don't worry about warm. They're like
No.
him. And she points at Cecil.
I don't know. Could be stone giants as well,
Either
or
one.
hill giants.
I don't think either one of them has a big issue with that. Hill giants, they're too stupid to know they're cold.
Some cases. You find a few of them that are smart. Not many, though.
Kelly kind of looks around and says, like, we can go further into the Vale, or we can make camp here and settle in for the night. We still have at least 3 or 4 hours of sunlight left.
When life gives you shelter, take it.
Yeah, the question. We didn't bring any wood.
Yeah,
we?
you have some wood in the survival pack. Remember,
Okay.
you have that Tensor's floating disc that's carrying all the supplies.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
We've just been followed behind by like this mound of stuff.
Yeah. And so it basically, you have you got some wood on there, but you know that out here, if you try and build a fire for absolute warmth, you will burn through most of your wood in one night.
Yeah, it's gonna go fast.
You have tents.
Yep, and we can set the tent up into the lean-to. That should help.
Yeah, and then body heat will help. In the tent will capture body heat, and the inside the tent will be very warm.
So will the armor.
Yes. Zipping together.
Kelly looks at you and looks down the middle armor. It's like some people's armor.
Hey, I had to slay a Remoraz to get this thing.
He's like, well, I'm going to start looking for a Remoraz. Somewhere warmer. Can I find one
Yes.
somewhere warmer?
You primarily find them out in the icy region. So trust me,
so somewhere
it'll
colder.
be way colder than this.
Oh, yeah, this sucks.
Yeah, no.
Not
I
to
think
mention
I'll
they're
stick
inside
to
there as
sharing
cold as
my
lava.
sleeping bag.
She's like, I did bring the bigger one.
I know, love.
All right,
Idris
so
is just like letting everyone talk and argue, and he's like setting up a tent.
he's just setting up a tent.
I feel like he and Esther are just setting the tents up while they go about.
Accordia's like defrosting and making sure none of her swords have like frozen shut in their scabbards.
That actually happens too.
Mm-hmm. She's just checking all of them.
I feel like
Well,
Esther the whole
no-
time's just been like every like hour or so, it's just been like tugging on the
daggers.
daggers and the rapier to make sure they don't freeze.
Yeah, he's been doing that with his curved blade and with his guns.
All right,
Oil
so
the blades.
you
They
guys
won't freeze.
Yeah, you guys are making camp. You make camp. You eat a meal. Just the sheer shock of the cold and everything like that. It's been just a rough day in general, so everyone's kind of wasted. You are going to put yourselves into a watch, I assume.
I was about to say, it's like, this is giant territory. We'll need to set watch.
I can take the first one.
I usually wake up early. I can take third watch.
I'll take the watch in between.
I'll take fourth then.
And Kelly says, I can take a watch too, so.
5 watches might be a bit too much.
Well, we're kind of turning in a bit early, so we're not going to really have, unless we want to march in the dark.
Bad
No.
idea up in the mountains.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not to mention, not everyone out here can see well in the dark.
I mean,
I don't
plus we don't all have to turn in, early. Says,
Which is true.
Yeah,
Oh.
Everyone can just chill out in their tents and, keep warm as best they can.
Well, from now until sunrise is how long?
Oh, it's literally around 4 or 5 p.m.
Roughly, sunrise should be about 6.
12 hours.
Give or
12 hours.
take 12 hours.
12 hours between 5 of us. 2.5 hours apiece.
Sounds reasonable.
Should get us through.
Yes.
Well, while we're all, what I'm saying is, we may be camped out, but we don't have to go to sleep in the next hour or two.
No.
No, it's once we all start setting. I don't know what that was. That was a voice.
Where?
Twas a voice.
I didn't hear
No,
a voice.
me. That was not the
Oh,
voice that was
oh,
supposed to exit
at my mouth.
Well, at least it wasn't a different accent altogether, or I'd be freaking giving the freaking.
No, I know what accent it. I'm not gonna do that one unless I have to.
Okay.
Sam.
I appreciate it.
I think once we all decide that it is time to settle down, then we can start first watch. Obviously, none of us are about to fall asleep at that, but seems to be about 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
True.
Yes, that is fair.
All right, so we'll make a lavish meal or something and just take some time to relax. She begins going over. She goes over to the tensors, and she pulls out one of the tents, and she goes walking over to where the ease is, and she says, "Okay, this looks simple. I'm never gonna get this thing together."
I hope. I'm not terrible.
Yeah. So pop-up tents are not a thing here.
No.
These are more of an act of will than anything else.
This feels like my childhood.
Go help your brother/sister put the tent up. Nah.
I don't want to. That was cute. That was
All right.
super.
So you guys make camp. Like I said, spend some extra time, like just checking gear, doing going over things, and spending extra time because you turn in early. I'm assuming you're lighting a fire.
Yeah.
Both for warmth and to cook. As you do so, the first thing you notice is that the fire, whoever lights the fire catches very quickly and very easily. You are using what they call seasoned wood, which is just old wood. It's designed to catch and burn better, but it does burn faster. But you are it catches and burns and lights and burns and is burning very strongly. But because you're conserving it, you're not really you're just putting enough wood on there to get something cooking and not generate a lot of heat. But for some reason, the fire generates more heat than it should. Even though you're making the shelter the lean-to, which will amplify it, it seems to, and this is something that Cecil gets right away, it seems to generate more heat than it normally should.
We're gonna use Arcane Sense,
Okay.
which allows me to, without using any spell cost, and as an innate spell, use Detect Magic.
Gotcha. There is magic here.
Like-
There is magic it's arcane. It is. Oh no, sorry.
Primal.
It's natural. It's primal. It is based around elemental control, and it is designed to enhance fire elements to increase the output that a fire element, anything of fire would output. The big thing that does is it makes any flame that you light produce more heat and more light than it naturally would. But it also means that if you were to get caught in a fire spell in this area, it would also
suck.
be enhanced.
It's like, if I'm correct about this, and I'm 90% sure I'm correct about this, he's actually going to hold up his hand and hold it outside the lean-to Estradot, and he's just going to test his theory by casting Ignition and just watching the even greater eruption of flame from it. It's like,
Make me either a nature or survival roll, or an arcane roll.
Uh-oh.
that's not a bad thing.
We don't know that yet.
We don't know until the dice speak.
39.
Jesus God. Okay, yeah, no, that's a good roll. So, this is the thing. Things like this that happen are usually a sign that there has been some kind of greater elemental-based magic utilized here that has weakened a divide between the plane of fire and the prime material plane.
It's like, huh.
And number one, and number two, frost giants don't like fire.
It's like frost giants didn't do this. Fire giants, maybe.
What are you suggesting?
What I'm suggesting. This encampment isn't frost giant territory. They hate fire. But the ley line that connects to the primordial plane of fire is weakened here through a ritual. It's meant to enhance flame, enhance heat. Frost giants don't need heat. They hate the heat.
Right, so it
Which
means that there's
means
someone else that was here that was not frost giant.
stone giants, perhaps. Fire giants, possibly. Like storm giants, maybe, but unlikely. And cloud giants, this isn't their thing.
You also know that with all the conflict that's going on, all four of the elemental planes are part of the forces of the enemy.
It's like there's also the fact that the plane of fire isn't exactly allies with anyone. They're kind of just trying to get in any way, shape, or form possible. So it's also possible that it's their allies.
Right, I keep
giants.
forgetting that there's a war on.
Yeah, it doesn't affect us too much, but it does still affect us. We should definitely keep our eyes peeled. This is a soft spot for signal fire. Shit.
I mean, this could be something that we can use to our advantage.
If you've got flames, yes. The only downside is if the enemy has flames, we're going to be in some trouble.
I meant we could stir up trouble between the different clans, use that as a distraction while we find this. They won't be paying attention to us.
Does not sit well to lie to giants unless they're too stupid to realize it.
I didn't say we were lying. I'm just saying, if something were to be misplaced, a fireball or somebody set up camp a little too close to the others, and, accidents do happen.
It's true. Quite often, in fact.
Especially when veils are thin.
So Kelly looks at you and says, so are we now worried about elementals as well as giants?
Possibly.
Not something we should be unprepared for.
Or is this elementals in place of giants? Do we even know where giants have sighted themselves in the war?
Not really. They're technically from here. At least most of them are.
Kelly says,
So-
it's once again, it's nothing that we have any information on.
The one thing I can tell you from both my studies from the various people I grew up with and more arcane studies, primordial, the multitude of languages from the elemental, is the parent language of both giant and abyssal.
Oh, great.
So giants do have ties to the elemental planes, hence frost giants, storm giants, cloud giants, etc., etc.
All right. So there could be, they could basically be on either side.
Exactly. Or they could be taking up middle ground and not participating at all, choosing to stay neutral.
So either this was an offensive against them or them making contact with allies.
Could be.
But like you said, why would they be contacting fire elementals? I don't know what elementals a frost giant would like necessarily.
There's a veil between air and water that's just known for its freezing temperatures.
Okay. Well, then I guess they'd want to contact either one of those factions. But still, we're not seeing fire in this.
Correct. Which means more than likely, if this was done by giants, it wasn't done by frost giants. Stone giants or fire giants are more likely.
Unfortunately, my knowledge of giants is not as extensive as yours, so I'll have to take your word for it. Does
Yes,
anyone
if
else
I
had
had to
any
guess.
encounters with giants?
No.
No, but
Somebody.
at least the way this is all coming across, seems entirely possible that perhaps the giants are warring among themselves more than they would normally.
I wonder why they would do that.
As the fire giants on the side of the fire elementals, if they are on a different side than the frost giants, the bada bing bada boom.
They fought for centuries, even
Yeah.
before other forces got involved.
Well, it
Because
seems only
other
natural.
forces has not helped.
Yeah, fire and ice
Yeah.
type of thing.
If there are devils and demons involved, as we have heard, then it is very likely the fire giants may be in league with them. This could be very bad.
Okay. Well, and it's turning out we might have a lot of research to do in this,
Hmm.
and I signed on for fighting, so I'm going to stop thinking.
That is very fair.
Right.
We'll just be en garde during watches.
Agreed.
Ever vigilant and optimistic. Those two traits will keep you alive out here.
Well, I definitely want to stay alive.
Yes, I have things to do.
Indeed.
And a great deal of money to spend.
A what?
Well, when this is all through, I have a great deal of money to spend.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And some of us still have debts owed. We need to make it back alive.
Well, that's going to be, I assume, our main focus. All right, well, I guess let's eat, and then we can move out tomorrow, then. Early.
Yes.
Means
Yes.
really cold.
Sun's first light.
I don't know when that's coming. She kind of looks at the mountain. She's like, that's between us and the sunrise.
Yes. Maybe second light. Give the sun a little bit of time to warm things up a bit.
Oh, yes.
And
Trust me, the sooner you adapt to it, the better.
It's kind of hard for you, easy for you to say, given the fact that you are wearing armor that allows you to just adapt.
And he's
Yes.
literally going to then take off the armor and just literally just stand there, not even shivering. Just
You already told us the tattoos do it too.
Yes, you have tattoos.
Yeah.
This is not impressive. This is
No.
just
This is
Alex.
just you making fun of us for freezing our tits off.
well, I'm
Oh.
sorry. Some of us we're born and raised in these kind of environments.
Yes.
When you're
So you
dealing
have
with
an advantage.
It reminds me of
Fine.
someone I used to
Don't
know back
be
in.
arrogant about it.
You remind me of someone I used to know back on Alatras.
I was born in the snow, raised in the snow. I was molded by it. When I saw
him.
warmth, it was only blind.
Yes, he was never any fun at parties.
No, no, he was not.
sounds horrid.
He also wore this weird mask all the time. It was very off-putting.
I never
No,
understood that.
I think I may have met him once. He had the weird habit of breaking backs.
Yes, yes,
Oh, also,
yes. Now that I
yes.
think about it.
Now that I remember, it was that.
Does not sound like a
You
fun
all
individual.
hang out with some weird people,
Well,
which makes me doubt myself now. Since I
Doubt yourself in what way?
Well, I apparently joined this merry band of misfits, and now I hear about the other people you used to hang out with, masked. I don't know, masked people?
Oh, darling, there's a reason they're not still around.
I will allow you to explain that at some other time. I'm almost too terrified to guess. So, after
he
this,
just turns to like just an empty space. Yes, I do remember that one fellow that wore the bat costume. It was weird. What a weirdo!
I was gonna make a joke about that guy being taken out by a guy that was half bat.
You know, he actually adopted a boy.
Then let him
Falls
adopt that boy.
Yes, very
was-
colorful.
Just to
Also
add in,
cute.
Kelly will go, actually, I heard he adopted a series of boys because they kept dying.
Yes, it was quite terrible.
Wait, wasn't the first boy one of the bird people?
Yes, he was.
Oh yes, that would. Someone else with
Vicky,
wings.
I
That
think
would
his name
make
was
sense.
Vicky.
That all sounds. You know what? One of these days,
All right.
Hmm.
So
we need to visit my village and we'll see all the oddities.
I think you've all met most of the oddities. So the rest of the night passes with banter and lots of social commentary, of course. You guys have a meal and roughly try and do your best to keep each other awake, keep on watch. As I said, the the heat and everything produced by the fire is very unnaturally high. Eventually, you guys all turn in, take your watches. I'm not going to make anyone roll. The watches all pass uneventfully. As when you get up in the morning and start getting ready to set off, there's still, no real. There's been some sign of animal life, but there's been no real, there's not a lot of wildlife that's out and about, even at night. Probably because most of it's hibernating because it's winter. You guys are getting your gear together. Kelly is looks at you all and looks at Cecil and says, "So, which direction are we going?" The map
Well,
says to go further up into the Vale.
Then that's where we're going.
Probably where we should go.
All right. So you guys have been trekking through the Vale. The Vale quickly narrows down into a series of winding paths that cut through the mountain, through some of the area, rise above it. So sometimes you're walking on a ridge above everything, which is nervous in its own right because you're basically visible to everyone around you. Sometimes you're walking down through the lower portions of the Vale, which becomes nervous in its own right because it's easy to be ambushed because there's a bunch of tall cliff sides on either side of you. As you're walking through one of those areas, it's very easy to notice that you are on another path. You can't tell exactly when it started, but there is actually this is through a winding portion, a snaking portion of the Vale, and you're on a very narrow path that it has some very high ridges on either side of it. And for the first time, you feel like there's someone watching you.
He'll just immediately Cecil will stop and he'll look around at first, and if he doesn't see anything, he's going to use the ability of the Arcane Eye to see the unseen.
And Idris is going to kind of see if there's any spirits or anything wandering about that might have taken an interest or that he can query.
Okay. So as you guys are starting to pan out, what are the rest of you doing?
I'm just making a perception check.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna double down on that.
Double down on the perception check. Roll and roll.
Roll, roll, roll. Hey.
Oh, and there's something you're not going to need a perception check for is as you guys have been walking into this up into the mountains, the weather has been getting rough, more and more rough. Clouds have been rolling in. The temperature is not really been dropping, but you can tell because there's now winds whipping around this area that the winds have picked up and a heavy cloud cover has been rolling in. So who's rolling their perception?
Cecil?
Got it.
Ugh, terrible.
Terry Bill.
I shall roll perception to help
Oh,
me
you
see
did
the dead. Not great, but not bad either.
So Idris, you and sorry, not Idris. Este and
I rolled.
Idris.
Let's say I rolled a 32.
Yeah, I rolled a 28.
Oh, Cecil. So Este and Cecil. I apologize. Oh wait, no, I had the wrong people. How am I the wrong people?
How are you?
The player numbers do not match up with the.
Did we
is that
roll
what's
in
going
order? 1, 2, 3, 4.
You did.
I literally waited till number 2 rolled before rolling, so that we were in fact in order.
Okay, I got it now. So it's actually it's Idris and it's Cecil. So Idris, what you can discern is that, or what you understand from looking through this, you understand that number one, because of the way this valley winds, and I'll actually show it to you real quick, that it's it's an S curve going up further into the mountain. There is a large ledge to the left, and as you come where the first bend goes to the right, so like above that, there's a large ledge, and then going around the corner from that, you can see as it curves back to the left, there's another large ledge in the corner. Both of those ledges have a bunch of those very large scrub brushes growing up on top of them, and you know that those would be two perfect perches for someone to be able to have some kind of overhead cover on you, either range shooting or something like that. And then the corner is a blind corner. So, Cecil, what you can the little bit more information you can understand for the situation is that this is a very obvious ambush spot tactic. You can see that a lot of the brush cover on the ridge above you is basically like staged foliage. Like it doesn't look like it's naturally growing. It looks like someone built like a wooden latticework to hold it up. For the rest of you two got the exact same number. You guys can tell that this is a perfect place for an ambush. You can see the same ledges that he can, but other than that, you don't have a lot of more insight than they've already gained. So,
but do I see dead people?
There are spirits
Full head Joel.
in this area. I'm assuming you would see them, but they're not humans or any type of regular humanoid. They're spirits of giants.
Okay, I do not speak giant, but there are.
You're visible to them as much as they are visible to you. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There are giant spirits here.
They're standing on the ground, kind of around your group.
Mm-hmm.
And the odd thing is, not all of them look the same. Some of them are dressed up in furs, and they have, mainly leather style armor on. They seem to favor weapons like axes, battle axes, hand axes, and the like. There's two of those. The other two those are more wiry, long-limbed. The other two are much more muscular. They're actually shorter, but they have wider shoulders. They're wearing metal armor. Looks like plate. Most of the one of them's carrying a very large two-handed sword, which in his case is fucking 15-foot long sword. And the other one has a shield and a very large, like, stone cudgel in his other hand. But they are all four of the spirits look like they were in a very grave battle.
I described that to
And
everyone.
they are glaring as much at each other as they are at you all.
So judging by the given instances, by the sounds of it, that's fire giants and either stone giants or frost giants, correct? By the descriptions?
Stone giants don't wear a lot of clothes.
So I was probably thinking the more wiry build and all the fur and the furs.
And they definitely don't wear armor. And they usually use like stone clubs. They don't usually use edge weapons.
Right. And their hill giants are typically a little bit smaller.
They're much
So I'm guessing
smaller.
this is-
They're like 12 feet tall.
So these are more probably frost giants and fire giants, considering how they're acting.
Yep. The only problem is since they're spirits, they're kind of ethereal, so you can't tell what color they are. So you you can definitely tell one thing: the more muscular, heavy set giants, they have darker hair, and the other giants have much lighter hair.
I explain all of that.
It's like, so fire and frost giants. Well,
Mhm.
let's find out which these are. And he's actually, considering he's pretty sure they are being watched,
Mm-hmm.
he will actually call out in Jotun.
Okay.
As he's calling out, Idris is putting a hand on each gun.
Got it.
Show yourself so we can determine whether you are friend or foe.
In a very dramatic
course.
fashion, right as you make that statement, there is a lightning crack, and it begins to pour rain.
No.
Because what would make this even better?
You have angered someone, probably one of the gods.
Probably one of the guns, and they now hate you. Ambient sound down a little bit. That's pretty loud. All right, so you guys are standing at the end I put you at. Does everyone see everything? Are their minis okay?
I cannot see anything.
Oh, sorry. Let me put some light on this.
I can see it.
I am trying to find out.
Is it weird that anytime I hear a recording of thunder and lightning and rain, my
get
brain
sleepy?
immediately goes to my brain immediately goes to Janet Jackson's "Anytime, Anyplace."
Okay, that's also fair.
Yeah. I don't want to stop.
Storm ambience. Storm ambience will put my ass straight to sleep.
Can you see?
Oh, they can
anything
do
yet,
that too.
Sphinx. Oh, hit F5.
Refresh the
Well.
bitch.
Let me hit F5. I refresh the motherfucker. Nope. Still just
Let me try and play with
darkness.
Is it just not loading or not showing?
No, it's loaded and it's just black.
Are you still on the wrong? Are you stuck on the wrong page?
Oh.
It shows you in here,
on first
blind.
map.
and I see your little cursor.
I'm right here. I see lots of cursors, but I don't
Can't see
see
them.
the
Yeah,
map.
it's like-
Yeah.
Hold
You
on.
don't have
What
vision?
browser are you using for the thing?
I'm using Firefox, which is what I've always used.
It shouldn't have a
Actually,
problem with Firefox.
It should not.
Yeah. That's weird.
Betty.
Shall I describe it to you? Or shall I get you a
Describe
box?
it. How about now?
No.
Anything?
Let me switch browsers just in case it's a weird browser thing.
Yep, I know
don't
I'm
think it
using.
is,
I know I'm
but I'm going to
using
try it.
Chrome for it at the moment.
Oh, I have to get out of this one first. Then I will refresh you, the rotten bastard. Let me in, yo.
Sorry, folks. We're having a bit of a technical issue with
It's a fun time.
vision.
Mm.
I'm drinking rum, and everyone else can see this fine, though?
Yes.
Yes.
I just want to make sure it's Sphinx's fault.
It would seem that whatever it is my fault, because I still can't see shit.
You switched your eyes over to ethereal. You need to switch them back to material so you can see what's going on.
The thing is, his token has all the same settings that all your tokens have.
Weird.
Yeah. Because I'm using your tokens as reference, you know? Oh, what's going on?
I got a weird question.
What's up?
What is the light setting on the map to?
I just
And
changed it to
what-
daylight.
Okay, never mind. Then that wouldn't be effect. I was like, hold on a minute. If it's low light,
No,
or-
it's daylight.
we may have to describe it and go from there then, or use the streams. Something, at least so we can keep moving.
Yeah, give me 1 second. 60 for 5. I'm just making sure that everything is the same. 138, nothing. Light animation, none. 5. Got it. Sorry, folks, I'm going as fast as I can, I promise. Luminescence. Yes. Everyone in the stream can see what I'm doing, so I don't know how to change.
I mean, I've got the stream chat up, and I've got the thing pulled up, but I've got other things on top of it, so I can't
no,
really
I'm not
see
worried
it.
about that. Basic configuration, vision is enabled. Oh shit. Alright, let me try this. Bad.
Am I still listed as having ownership of the token?
I think you are. I'll double check it. I mean, I haven't played with any of the ownership since we created everything.
I don't know. Pretty good.
Cecil Redmond, represented actor.
But I am not Cecil.
Oh, I clicked on the wrong one, sorry. Oh, wait, hang on a second.
Oh.
That is the problem. That might be.
What?
Oh no!
Oh, no.
Yeah, that could be it. That could be why he doesn't see it.
Definitely.
It was never mine.
It was never yours. It was
Try
never
refreshing
your
again.
fault.
Refreshing now. There we go.
That was the problem. Sorry, folks. Sometimes we have small technical difficulties that make things more difficult than they should be difficult to you guys. So you can see that
Ooh,
the
this is a
path
nice
goes
map.
down in front of you. It turns, goes around. How much can you guys see actually? The whole map?
I mean, I can see a windy path and
Okay, that's the whole map. Yep, got it. So you can see the area I told you already flood you. There's the big ridge with some trees and everything up there above you. And then you can see that there is path winds around. So you guys are at the beginning of the path. Cecil called out in Jotun and basically said, you know, if you're there, make yourself known. Oops. Go ahead and do this. All right, so as he says that, there is a deep chuckle. Oops.
Oh, now you've done it.
Now you've done it. And on this ridge right here, a frost giant kind of grabs a hold of that tree, and he kind of leans out and looks down at you. And he's looks down at you and he's smiling. The rain's kind of like got him soaked, but he doesn't seem to care. And he's got a a very large boulder in one hand that he's kind of just tossing up and down, and he's like, in Jotun, he calls out, he's like, "At least you speak an intelligent language."
Was one of the first I learned.
Then you were raised right. He's like, "You should always know the language of your betters." Why are you here?
We were sent to retrieve something that found itself lost.
He says, anything lost here belongs to the tribe. If you've lost something here, then consider yourself lucky that so far you've only lost an item or some coin.
It just turns to everyone. I feel like they're trying to say something.
It does feel that way. It just sounds like the crashing of boulders to me.
Yes. And the thunder does not help.
No, not at all.
Are you
The
going-
item we seek was not taken, but sent on accident. We have no quarrel with your people, but it seems the camp we found, those who made it might.
And he kind of like looks down at you and he says, "You're using the good proper tongue, but you're using it to speak circles. Speak plainly."
Blame the cloud giants who taught. There was a camp not far back. The veil to the realm of fire was breached there. My guess, by either those of your kind who you now call enemies, or by the fire giants.
He looks you up and down and he's like, "Are your friends not educated then?"
They are not from here. Were not raised in the mountains or the wilderness.
He says, "It is unfortunate for them."
I feel like he is insulting us. Is he insulting us?
And probably.
He says,
But we'll let him negotiate and see where it gets us.
"So he kind of stops and he says, I feel that and he switches to common and he says, not as easy to make myself understood in a primitive tongue.
He was insulting us. He was definitely insulting us.
He says, but
I guess.
you all are coming here at a very poor time, if there is ever a good time for you to come and try and bother us.
It's not our intent to bother you at all. Our intent is simply to retrieve the item that we were sent for and get out of your hair as quickly as possible.
In all honesty, we didn't wish to disturb you at all.
No.
He says, there is... What do you wish to be returned? What is the item you lost?
I completely forgot what we were after. It is like it's a magical shard that does something, and I forgot all of the rest of it.
The physical description is like, considering it'd probably be a lot easier for them to understand in Jotun. Cecil will attempt to describe the item in Jotun, the description they were given of it.
He listens. Then he nods and he says, and if this thing has fallen into our possession, what would you do to have it back?
Is he
There are
still speaking in common, or is he?
He's speaking common.
Okay.
It would seem that the fire giants are consorting with outsiders. Perhaps we can come to a settlement. If they are doing so, they have become a threat to the wilds, this entire world, as well as an enemy of yours.
They're about to get roped into something else, I think.
If they threaten the wilds, the very balance of nature, they become enemies of my people as well.
He says, so you're asking to know what we can do, or what you can do to help us in this?
What we can do to earn the items that you may have in your possession that we have been sent to retrieve.
Or
A
should it
fair trade.
Or should it not be in your possession, but you know the whereabouts of, to trade, aiding you in exchange for the information on exactly where the item is?
He whistles, and two giant dragon-like lizards come shuffling out
I don't
and
think
climb down the walls into the ridge.
Something tells me this is going poorly.
Oh, and now I've got the black screen. But still have access to the token. What the fuck?
Wait a minute. That's kind of weird. There it goes.
Refresh it. Because I had it, and I accidentally hit the refresh. Lost
Yeah.
it.
So they are, but they come shuffling up.
Module disabled.
I don't know what that means. They have wings. They are very dragon-like. But you can see that as the rain comes down and hits them, the rain instantly freezes, so they're constantly covered in a sheet of ice. And as they move, the ice cracks and falls away from their body. And he says, if you are speaking the truth, and the only reason I am listening is because at least one of you speaks a noble tongue. He says, if you are speaking the truth,
More insults, more insults.
It's fine. There's
Then-
always one.
we may have something to discuss. He says, I will escort you back to our village, I and my pets. If at any time you attempt to threaten me or my pets will attack.
We have no quarrel with you.
Quarrel is not ever something that anyone in my tribe ever shies away from.
Please.
He says, but there is not a lot of trust between my kind and the small folk. So, forgive me if we are guarded.
It is understood.
That was nice.
Many small folk have attempted to deceive and beguile giants in the past.
He says, we will head back now. He says, as long as you are with me, you are under my protection. No one will attack you. None of my people will attack you. He says, I will take you to speak to the Jarl.
Would be an honor.
He says, try and keep up. And he slides down the scree on the side of the cliff face, and he kind of just begins loping off in the rain through the path. You don't have to move your tokens. You guys start moving through the pass. As you're moving through the pass, you notice he is keeping an eye out on the ridges above you, and he is maintaining a very high pace, and for a giant, that is very serious. His base movement speed is something insane.
Oh no.
Something insane. Come on, what are you doing?
Yeah, his base movement speed is like 60.
Jeez.
Well, he's got a fucking like 20-foot stride.
Well, yeah, his stride is
Yeah.
just like comparatively looking. I'm like,
Yeah. So he basically has to constantly stop and wait for you to catch up. You can see that one of the drakes that he's got with him stays behind you and is bringing up the rear. You never heard him or saw him give it a command. It just fell back to the back and started following you. The other one is run way ahead, and occasionally you see that as it comes back to him, and he'll spend a few moments just making eye contact with it, and then it'll run off again. So he begins to slow down his pace, and he says, "The road ahead is clear." He says, "We will be there in an hour." He's like, "I will maintain your speed." He says, "If anything you see disturbs you in some way, you will keep the peace. You are coming into our home."
stop! You got left behind.
Damn!
So rude to the cat.
Damn!
Poor kitty. He
She's
says,
just sitting here screaming at me.
He says, "Just be aware that although this is our homeland, there are plenty of creatures here that do not respect the bounds of hospitality. There are plenty of beasts who feast on all manner of things, including my own people. And where we are now is their home too."
That is good to know.
That is the law of the wild.
He says, "You are under our protection as per the rules of hospitality." He says, "But this is a very dangerous place. Be sure to keep your guard up." And he turns back and he begins moving again. As he begins moving forward, the kitty's going to unplug the cord. As he begins moving forward again, there is suddenly a huge shaking on the side of the cliff face above him. A large portion of the cliff just falls on him, and he is trapped underneath it. Like, it's bigger than he is. It's a huge boulder. He managed to get mostly out of it, but like, it's got him pinned down. You can see his right leg is fully underneath it. Sitting in the rock in the cliff face. Oh, and you notice that the other side of the rock looks like it may be partially melted. And sitting in the rock above him is a huge centipede-like creature. It has two huge multifaceted eyes.
Fuck!
It has got razor scales that go down the middle of the back and two long horns that come off the front. There is what looks to be a multi-parted mandible
I don't like this.
in the lower front
I know
portion of it.
exactly what this is.
It is about 30 feet up the cliff, but you can see around it that shimmer of heat, like you're looking through the edge of a fire.
Just blades coming out, and he just looks to Kelly. It's like, you made the remark about wanting your own set. Now's your fucking chance.
Idris turns to the empty space next to him. Fine, all right, you are right. You are right.
We're gonna need that giant's help.
So
These things are no joke.
climbing down the side of the cliff face is a full-grown Remoraz.
He just pulls both of his pistols. Okay.
And we will go ahead and stop there for the night.
As soon as you said the melted out and said centipede, like it's like, oh, I know what this is.
Remoraz are terrifying because they have a burrow speed that's faster than their land movement speed.
Yeah, no, they're
They do.
fucking.
And that's because they can melt stone and ice to move
Of course
through
they
it.
can. Of course they can. They're fucking lava swimmers. Great.
And
Cool.
the
At least we
weirdest
won't be that cold.
the weirdest thing about it is that they're also they're cold-based creatures, but they're fire-based too. So it's
they
wonderful.
use
Hate it.
heat to burrow through ice and stone.
Yep.
They have,
How
if I
lucky.
remember correctly, they're immune to the cold and to heat.
Fire. Yep. They're great.
That's cool. That's cool. I like a wormhole too.
Also, you don't want to be
Hey.
swallowed whole by them because it's like getting crushed and attempting to be melted.
Yeah,
Sounds
they're
like a
really
good time.
good.
I'm just
That's-
It
saying.
sounds like a good time. I'm here for a
Great
good time,
time.
not a long time.
Yeah. Live fast, die young, leave a pretty corpse.
Exactly.
Faster pussycat, kill, kill, kill. But we're going to go ahead and say goodnight to you all as we are going to wrap up for this evening. Thank you, everyone who joined us and stuck around. Next week, obviously, we are going to be getting into the down and the dirty with the combat system. As a Remoraz is way more powerful than anything that's on the board right now.
Yay.
And
This
so...
is fine.
Yeah, and so that's why you have a Frost Giant and 2 extra Drakes. So you guys are going to see what you can do against this thing. It's going to be a great fight, and I cannot wait for us to run through this. But in the meantime, I would like to thank my players for being here tonight and being willing to go through this mess. Sphinx, where can people find you on the mighty, mighty interwebs?
Well, hi there. I'm Sphinx Akasha, your current champion of bards. You can find me on TikTok as Circle DM. Everywhere else on the internet is Sphinx Akasha. You can find me usually on Tuesdays and Wednesdays right here on Dinner and a Game. Wow. Playing our Monster of the Week campaign on Tuesdays, Small Town Life, where I play Malcolm Raziel, our librarian / spellslinger. And of course, you can find us right here on Wednesdays, reprising my character Idris, the gunslinger way of the spell shot. Every other Friday, including this Friday, you can find me with the 88 Adventures crew as I run my campaign, Agents of the Circle. We are in our 5th and final season, and the party has just finally made it down to the 36th chamber. We'll see what kind of crazy shit is going to occur as Ozma has just talked to one of her ancestors, the very first king of Anthem, King Nat Cole. Yep, I know exactly what that is. I did it on purpose. So tune in for that. Also, you can catch that show as a podcast. It was a podcast before it was a streaming show. So if you're wondering why they're in this city full of bards or this country full of bards underneath the 36 chambers, which is obviously a Wu-Tang Clan reference, I also did that shit on purpose. Check out the other seasons and find out how they got here. On Saturdays, you can find me with 88 Adventures as we switch back and forth between Unlicensed Magic War Crimes and this week, Heroes Arc, where you can find me playing my ASMR Necromancer, Raziel. And then on Sundays, catch us again on 88 Adventures for The Tale That Never Was, which is a really weird dimension-jumping, time-traveling, Doctor Who-esque kind of adventure. Pretty sure one of the characters is a Time Lord, and I play Ioji Nyota, who is my answer to what if Howl from Howl's Moving Castle was a Kalishtar and Calcifer was his quarry, and he winds up being an Eldritch Mind, an Aberrant Mind sorcerer. Thank you. My brain doing the weird. So check that out.
Mood.
And where I play both Io and his quarry, Sidra.
Dun dun dun. Next, let's go over to Mr. Sam. Sam, where can people find you on the massive interwebs?
So, other than on social medias under Markov & Co. or some iteration of it, or on Twitch for me and the wife's channel, The Starfield, you guys can find me. Other than here, there's only one other show I'm on. Well, two, one outside of my own channel with me and the wife. And that is over on ADH Adventures on Tuesdays, where I play the group Sorcerer, who's in a little bit of a pickle at the moment.
When is he not in a pickle?
No, this is a much bigger pickle.
Is it a tasty pickle? Is it a sweet pickle? Is it a sour pickle? Is it a spicy pickle? What kind of pickle is it?
Pickle.
Not the pleasant pickle.
So it's not a pickle at all,
So
then.
it's not a pickle then.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so it's a
It's
bread and butter pickle.
Actually, baby sweet
Oh,
dills are
okay,
horrible.
fair.
No, yeah,
Fair.
no. There it is. There it is.
Baby
There it
sweet
is.
dills are horrible.
Ugh. Pickles should not be sweet.
No, if it's sweet, it's not a pickle because it's made mostly with sugar, not salt. Therefore, it is not made in a brine. Therefore, it is
It's
not
not
actually a
pickled.
pickle.
It
I get
still
very
has
upset.
pickle on the label.
They're
I don't give
wrong.
a fuck. I grew up in
I
the
like
South.
them
If
anyway.
it ain't sour, if it ain't vinegary, it ain't a fucking pickle.
Yes.
We have a place down in Texas called Dilley, Texas, and they grow cucumbers there that they make into pickles, and they're called Dilley Dills. And these things are so sour. My mouth is starting to salivate just thinking about eating one. They are some of the best pickles in the world. They're in my fridge right now, and they are so strong and so sour that I can only eat one maybe once a week. Because they're just that
I
strong.
want one.
I'm totally salivating. I can't.
One.
I
But
want one so bad now.
and does that cover all your spots, Sam?
I believe so. There is the show I am part of on my own channel, which is every other Saturday. Not this Saturday, unfortunately. Liz is on for this week, which is half of it is Vampire the Masquerade, Liz. The other half, Hunter the Reckoning. Myself, with two other military veterans.
So you guys like your ammo and your guns.
No, I'm apparently the only one who has shows extensive knowledge.
Gotcha.
That's partially because of the character I play. I play the group's primary marshal.
Got it. You need all kinds in a hunter game.
You really do. You really do.
All right, excellent. Miss Liz.
Yes. Hi. Hello. Miss Liz here. You can find me at various iterations of @MissLiz2 or @MissLiz2 on pretty much all the social medias. Depended on my mood and what was available when I made the account. Obviously, you can find me here on Wednesday nights playing this game. You can find me here every other Friday night. Not this Friday though. For right now, we're doing Tales from the Loop, our best days. But that's going to be ending soon, and we're currently basically reenacting a scene from The Birds. So that'll be fun.
Yep.
And right now, you can find me every other Saturday morning on the Starfield, which is this Saturday, playing Vampire the Masquerade, where I get to be a vampire who's too smart for her own good, because I always wind up playing the smart one or the voice of reason or both.
At least this time, this one has real daddy issues.
For one of our characters, yes.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And finally, Lady Vamp.
Yes. Hi, everybody. I'm Cassie. You can find me on social media at Lady Vamp, where I occasionally wake up and maybe post something. I also am on the ADH Adventures crew on Tuesday nights, where I play a very sad cleric who's just, she's just barely keeping her shit together. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Don't put her as a meme if the dog in the burning house, though. She's pyrophobic.
I do love
Extremely
the fact that
pyrophobic.
the three characters that I've been able to see you play, we were one on AH Adventures, this one, and then Callie, they're so three completely different characters.
I
great.
try to be really different every time I make a new character. I'm like, what have I done? What can I do?
Because your sad Kirk is oblivious, but it's more of a depression type, obliviousness. And then Callie is oblivious just because Callie is just like
Childish innocence.
Yeah, everything's fascinating and wonderful.
Yes.
But look at all these colors. I can't concentrate on anything.
Yeah, it took a little too many mushrooms.
Also, would you like a mushroom?
Yes.
Yeah,
Also, would you like a
ate
mushroom?
too many mushrooms. We're fine though.
And
We're
then
fine,
so
though.
and then you went away from those two basic, not going to have
Little
anything to do
beans.
with anyone. Romance is not a thing. This is just the characters, doing their own things, and everything else is going to be fine. You went from that over to your absolute horn dog in this game.
Oh, she's not the worst.
She's not-
Val.
My Val is the worst. She's a grave cleric, and she's
Oh.
retired now.
She's retired now. She's busy doing the gods thing.
Yeah, she's the god now.
Excellent. And finally, we have the mighty and lordly, the King of Bards, Mr. Sphinx Akasha.
I already went. I went.
Oh yeah, I
went.
think I was last.
Oh yeah, Kai was last. Sorry, I'm getting tired. I
Yeah.
apologize. So
It's all right.
actually, you can find Dinner to Games links on our link tree, which is in chat, along with all these people's amazing links to get their content. Remember, the biggest thing you can do for any content creator is just click that follow button. We do this no matter what because we enjoy doing it. But your acknowledgement of what we do makes it a little bit sweeter. So do what you can, when you can, where you can, how you can to appreciate those who create content for you to enjoy, because that gives us our own enjoyment out of the entire process. Now, we're going to go ahead and take this Cavalcade of Chaos into another stream and give someone a raid. And I'm going to ask my lovely cast who they'd rather raid right now, because we got a couple of options open. I see Dyson Autism. They're playing their game still.
Ooh.
And we have Beggar Street still playing their Superhero High game. Dyson Autism is doing Neuralis, which is their D&D 5e game. And then we have, who does we have here? Jarl of Goats. I don't know what Lethal Company is.
Either.
I think it's a video game.
Sounds like a video game.
Yep. So I would say either Beggar Street or Dyson Autism.
I know
Yes.
Dice has rated us several times.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we raid dice.
Yeah, we raid
Yeah.
Dice. Then Dice, we
Yeah,
raid.
Dice.
So if you've never been on a raid before, for those people who are following us on Twitch, a raid basically means we're taking our Twitch audience, jumping into another Twitch channel. We're going to say hi to the creator on that Twitch channel, thank them for creating content, and if you haven't given them a follow on Twitch yet, please do. It helps out their metrics. Remember, if you ever are in a raid on Twitch, refresh your screen when you get there. That way you can actually be able to give them better standing metrics for their stream, which helps them get shared out to more people. We're going to go ahead and do that right now. For those of you on the other channels, we thank you very much for having joined us. We hope everyone has a wonderful evening. Remember, though, please keep yourself safe. Please make sure you wear a mask when you can, social distance where you can. We want you to be able to come back and join us week after week whenever you have the time and the spoons, because at Dinner Game, we always save you a seat at the table, but you have to stay healthy and safe to get there. We thank you so much for having joined us tonight, and we will be raiding Dice in Autism in just a few seconds. Hang on for that, and we love you. And good night.